The episode starts with our main character Lloyd high up in the clouds fighting someone. He quickly realizes his opponent is incredibly powerful, so he asks Grim for his sword. Grim hands it over, and Lloyd uses it to block a dangerous attack. His opponent keeps attacking relentlessly, but Lloyd dodges every single strike. He's actually excited because his enemy is so strong. The twist? His opponent is actually an angel. After blocking all the angel's attacks, Lloyd gets ready to fight back. He returns the sword to Grim and switches to using Tao technique. Even though he manages to block the attacks with this new technique, he can't dodge them all and gets injured. Frustrated, Lloyd goes back to using his dangerous magic and launches a direct attack at the angel. There's a massive explosion, but when the smoke clears, the angel is completely unharmed. The angel coldly tells Lloyd, "You can't do anything to me. Even if you beg, I'll never forgive you." Lloyd just shrugs and says, "Fine, have it your way." But this was just a glimpse of a future battle. Now we need to find out how Lloyd ended up in the sky in the first place. The scene shifts to Ren, who has become Lloyd's maid. She's super nervous as she enters Lloyd's room to tell him breakfast is ready, but she discovers he's not there. Only Grim and Shiro are in the room. While she's looking around confused, Lloyd suddenly appears through the wall and says good morning. This scares Ren so badly she jumps. Lloyd explains that he's gotten really good at hiding his presence, thanks to the mana block technique Ren taught him. Ren is amazed because it took her years to learn that technique, but Lloyd picked it up so quickly. She nervously tells him he's incredible, then remembers she's supposed to be respectful since she's his maid, so she corrects herself and calls him Master. Lloyd notices how hesitant she is and asks if she's gotten used to working there yet, since she's been there for a while now. Ren explains that it hasn't been long enough and Silpha has been teaching her etiquette and other things. She says Silpha is strict but also pretty cool. She's having trouble learning all the proper manners, but promises to do her best to become the perfect servant for Lloyd. Lloyd tells her she doesn't need to call him Master, which makes Ren really happy. Just as she's about to call him by his name, Silpha shows up and firmly tells Ren she must call Lloyd Master. This scares Ren, and she quickly apologizes, promising to be more careful. Watching all this, Lloyd thinks poor Ren is in a tough spot. Grim comments that it's not just Ren, everyone's going to be busy. In the next scene, Lloyd returns to the castle where he had previously attacked, leaving a huge hole. But Galilia has fixed it with his web, and now Lloyd is bouncing on it. We also learn that Galilia has become the governor of the place. Galilia mentions he thought Prince Lloyd would become the governor, but Lloyd explains that his father gave him the choice to appoint anyone he wanted. He chose Galilia because the place needed to be repaired, and if it wasn't fixed properly, Lloyd couldn't use it for his research. Babylon arrives and comments on how much damage the demons caused and how long it'll take to repair everything. Galilia agrees, saying that now that this place is his, he'll never let it be destroyed again. He wishes they had something to protect themselves with. Grim suggests divine sorcery if they want a demonic opinion, which terrifies everyone. They ask if he's a demon, and he casually confirms it, asking what they expected. Let me explain what divine sorcery is. It's a special type of magic that only church devotees can use. It's basically God's power that you channel through your body to drive away evil. When the others hear this, they admit they've never believed in God or the church. Grim jokes that it's time to join the church and asks Lloyd if he's ready. This makes Lloyd nervous, and he says they should visit the church some other day. Seeing Lloyd's expression, everyone gets confused and wonders what he could have done to make him so worried. Lloyd then reveals that he was kicked out of the church because of a mistake he made 2 years ago. But since it was so long ago, maybe they've forgotten about the incident and he can go back now. Galilia tells Babylon to go with Lloyd, and Lloyd agrees that if joining the church will help him learn about divine sorcery, he'll do it. In the next scene, they arrive at the church with Ren accompanying them. Lloyd tells her she didn't need to come, but she explains that Silpha was busy, so she had to come. Plus, she wanted to spend time with him. Saying this makes her nervous, and she grabs onto Shiro for comfort. Babylon confirms their plan with Lloyd. They need to serve the church to learn divine sorcery. Lloyd explains that if you do church work like collecting funds, cleaning, reading scriptures, and praying for a long time, the angels give you divine sorcery as a blessing. It's an unknown type of mana signature that can't be read because it's not in any language. Babylon realizes they'll have to work really hard at the church. When they enter the church, Lloyd greets the father with "Good afternoon." The father is happy to see him at first, but then remembers who Lloyd is. The father gets scared and asks what he's doing there, reminding him that 2 years ago he raised hell in this church, something he'll never forget. He tells Lloyd to leave immediately. This makes Babylon wonder what exactly Lloyd did 2 years ago. Just then, a sister named Escher arrives and tells the father that incident is old news and he should forget about it. The father says she's too soft and always lets these matters slide. Escher reminds him that he always says people make mistakes, but they also ask for forgiveness, and when they do, God forgives them. Besides, she points out that no one is angry right now. The father insists that he's the one who's angry. Hearing all this, Lloyd puts Shiro in front of the father. Shiro looks at the father with such loving eyes that the father's heart melts. He tells Lloyd that while he won't completely welcome him back, he's giving him one chance to make up for his mistake. After saying this, he gives them all church clothes to wear. In the next scene, Lloyd is cleaning and getting bored. He accidentally knocks over a vase and it breaks. As he's about to leave, Escher comes over, picks up the broken vase, and asks where he's going. Lloyd apologizes for dropping the vase and making a mess. Escher says it's okay since it was an accident and asks if he got hurt. When Lloyd says he's fine, Escher is relieved. But then she looks at the vase and realizes it's the father's favorite one. This makes Lloyd panic, but Escher tells him not to worry. She'll apologize to the father for him. Lloyd insists he should apologize himself. After saying this, he takes the broken vase to throw it away. Watching this, Ren comments that Lloyd is acting really strange. Escher says she doesn't think so. Lloyd has always been such a good kid and hasn't changed at all. He loves magic so much that he's not interested in anything else. This time, he joined the church to learn divine sorcery, right? Hearing this, Ren and Babylon get nervous and wonder how she knows. They lie and say they don't know, but Escher can tell they're lying. She continues that Lloyd really hasn't changed. He used to break vases all the time before too. We're shown a flashback where young Lloyd had dropped a vase, and Escher came over asking if he was okay. When Lloyd said yes, Escher felt relieved. Lloyd then asked why she wasn't angry at him. Escher said she should be angry and jokingly called him a bad boy. Lloyd said that's not how you get angry and told her to use divine sorcery to hit him. Escher refused, saying divine sorcery should only be used against bad people. She suggested they sing together instead, but Lloyd ignored her and walked away. In the next scene, we see that Lloyd had unsealed a trapped demon in the church, causing it to wreak havoc. Everyone was running away, but Escher worried about where Lloyd had gone. She found him hiding, and the demon threw a chair at him. Escher jumped in front of Lloyd to protect him, getting injured herself. Instead of worrying about herself, she asked if Lloyd was okay. When he said yes, she felt relieved. Seeing this made Lloyd feel terrible, and he later confessed to everyone that it was all his fault. This is why Lloyd was kicked out of the church. Hearing this story, Ren and Babylon finally understand what happened. Escher explains that Lloyd has broken many of the father's vases, which is why the father is so angry with him. Everyone else thinks Lloyd is bad because he spawned the demon, but she doesn't think so. Lloyd has such a lovely voice. She thinks to herself that she hopes they can sing together again someday. Getting an idea, she tells them about today's recital and mentions that Saria will be coming too. This confuses Ren and Babylon, who wonder who Saria is. Meanwhile, we see Lloyd throwing the broken vase in the trash. He notices some people getting angry at a girl who accidentally bumped into them. When he sees the girl, Lloyd recognizes her and says, "That's my sister Saria." On the other side, Saria doesn't say anything to those people, which makes them even angrier. Then Saria asks them if they can play any instruments well. When they say they can't, Saria gets disappointed and tries to leave, but the men grab her again. Lloyd explains to everyone that this is Saria, his older sister and the fourth princess. She has a talent for music and has mastered every instrument. She's not interested in anything except music. As one of the men is about to hit Saria, he claims he's good with an instrument. This excites Saria, who asks what instrument it is. The man disgustingly says his instrument is making girls scream. Just as he's about to harass Saria, Escher arrives and stops him, saying Saria is her friend, and that's not an instrument. The man then grabs Escher inappropriately, but the father shows up asking who will sing at today's recital. Lloyd asks when the recital will be, and Babylon explains it's happening soon. Escher and Saria will sing together, and it's said that anyone who hears their song gets healed. Hearing this, Lloyd understands why Saria came here. Grimm suggests to Lloyd that maybe divine sorcery only appears during music, meaning during rituals. Lloyd thinks this makes sense. If people get healed by listening to the song, then divine sorcery probably happens during that time. He can't let the recital get cancelled. Lloyd asks Ren to attack the troublemakers. Ren agrees and uses mana focus to put the father and the four men to sleep with her power. Grimm is impressed that Ren didn't put them to sleep but managed to target only the other people, meaning she can control her power well now. Lloyd explains she used mana focus, which makes your pressure more powerful and targeting easier, but it requires a lot of effort. Lloyd mentally tells Ren she did a great job, but suddenly the men wake up again, which scares Ren. She realizes she didn't put them to sleep properly. Babylon is about to fight them, but Lloyd stops him. He explains that if they knock out these people, the father will see, and if the father finds out, it'll cause big problems. Instead, he'll just send them somewhere else. Saying this, Lloyd teleports both men to the top of some mountains. This leaves Escher and Saria behind, and everyone is terrified seeing Lloyd's power. Lloyd admits he still has a lot to learn because he doesn't even know exactly where he sent those people. In the next scene, the father wakes up and Lloyd tells him that Babylon chased away those troublemakers. Meanwhile, Babylon is shaking after witnessing Lloyd's power. He had used Jack's teleportation technique to transport those people. Babylon was shocked at how quickly Lloyd had learned this skill. Ren is also very impressed with Lloyd. The father accepts their explanation and leaves. Saria then looks at Lloyd for a moment and remembers his name is Lloyd. Babylon jokes that she forgot her own brother's name, but Escher explains it's actually impressive that she remembers Lloyd's name, since Saria only remembers people who are involved with music. Ren asks if Lloyd can play instruments too. Escher says no, but he sings very beautifully. Remembering this, she asks Lloyd if he'd like to sing with them in the recital. But before Lloyd can answer, Saria refuses and says Lloyd hasn't practiced enough. She doesn't want him to ruin their performance. She tells Lloyd he can sing with them once she's given him proper training, and for now, he should just watch and learn from their performance. Ren asks what they should do now, and suggests exploring the church. Lloyd says he won't come with them because he needs to observe the recital. Grimm tells them that divine sorcery probably happens during rituals, not from mana signatures. Lloyd explains that you can create many different phenomena when using mana signatures, but people with mana can also use magic by dancing or singing. Suddenly, both Babylon and Lloyd feel something strange, but they ignore it. In the next scene, the recital begins with Saria playing piano and Escher singing. The combination of Escher's voice and Saria's piano playing is absolutely beautiful, and everyone is amazed by the music. Lloyd says this is the magic that heals people, and it's truly incredible. On the other side, everyone is being healed by the music. Grimm points out that this is indeed divine sorcery. Lloyd cuts a fragment of mana with his sword, and it attaches to his blade. He observes that this is some kind of mana signature that looks like a geometric shape, something he's never seen before. Looking at its effects, it's like a health class spell. It's raining healing energy, and everyone within a 10-meter range is getting healed. Grimm notes that Escher's mana is a bit low, but Lloyd says it doesn't matter. It's exactly as they thought. Escher can use divine sorcery, which means God's messengers respect her. This is an unknown type of mana signature that's not in any language, so it can't be read. It's really interesting. Grimm asks if Lloyd wants to learn it, but Lloyd says they'll see about that later. Right now, he's sensing something very powerful that's been watching them since the recital started, and its gaze has become even more intense. Grimm senses it too and asks whose dangerous pressure this is and where it's coming from. Lloyd says it's coming from above. Grimm wonders if someone is watching them through the ceiling, but Lloyd says no. Someone is watching them from even higher up, maybe one of God's servants. Lloyd gets ready to go up and investigate. Before leaving, he tells Ren and Babylon he'll be back soon. Then he teleports high up into the sky. They go so high that there's nothing around them except clouds. Grimm asks Lloyd if they're dead, but Lloyd says that's not it. The last time he died, he didn't feel anything like this. They move forward and see a structure with an angel sitting on top of it. Seeing this, Lloyd says, "That's the one who was watching us." He found an angel sitting and watching something. Lloyd wondered what this angel was looking at. We soon found out the angel was listening to Saria and Escher singing. After hearing their song, the angel got really excited and perverted. He said, "These people are amazing. I wish I could go to them and kiss them." Seeing this weird behavior, Lloyd threw a piece of cloud right at him. The angel got furious and shouted, "Who's the crazy person throwing clouds at me?" When he saw Lloyd, he was shocked. "What's a human doing here? This is heaven." The angel told Lloyd, "Human, know your place. I'm an angel. My name is Zirial. I'm the assistant to 64 gods. How did you even get here? This is a different world from the human world. There was supposed to be a barrier stopping you." In the previous episode, we saw Lloyd teleport so fast that he actually broke through the barrier, but he didn't remember doing it. Lloyd said to Zirial, "I don't know about that, but please teach me divine sorcery." Hearing this, Zirial replied, "Yes, I am that beautiful. I'm so gorgeous that seeing me has messed up your brain. That's why you're talking nonsense. If you want, you can kiss my feet." This made Grimm angry. He said, "Stop talking garbage. Just tell us how to learn divine sorcery, or we'll go back to Earth and tell everyone what a pervert you are." Zirial laughed. "Go ahead and tell them. Nobody will believe you anyway." He kicked Grimm down and continued, "Yes, it's true I'm capable enough to teach divine sorcery, but this gift only goes to those who deserve it, and you don't deserve it. So just go home quietly." After saying this, he went back to listening to Saria and Escher's song and told Lloyd to leave again, but Lloyd wouldn't listen. Getting annoyed, Zirial used his ability called Luxa, creating huge swords. "I already told you to leave. I won't say it again," he warned. Then he attacked Lloyd with those swords, but Lloyd had put up a barrier and completely blocked the attack. Seeing this, Zirial got a bit serious. "Oh, so you're not just some normal kid after all." Meanwhile, we see Ren getting worried about where Lloyd went. Babylon asked her, "Did Lloyd say anything before leaving?" She replied, "Yes, Lloyd said someone was watching us." Babylon said, "I sensed that too. but I didn't sense anyone watching us specifically. Sorry, but I need to go outside for a bit. He left, thinking about what that strange smell was. Back to Loyed, who was now fighting with Zirial's swords and getting really excited because this was actual divine sorcery. Loyed noticed the swords looked like feathers at first, but were actually heavy and hard like iron. He tried using his spell to absorb Zirial's power, but it didn't work because Zirial's attacks had no physical form. Since the swords were purely magical, his spell couldn't steal them. Loyed handed his sword to Grim and said, "Zirial is making these Luxa swords using just mana. What an amazing spell. I want to see how durable this spell really is." Then Loyed attacked with 4 different elements all at once. Zirial was shocked and dodged to the side, but Loyed's attack hit the barrier instead, completely destroying it. This scared Zirial even more. Suddenly, Loyed teleported right behind him and asked, "Why did you dodge my attack?" This freaked out Zirial, who attacked with his sword again, but Loyed just teleported away. Zirial thought, "Good, that kid got scared and ran away." But Loyed hadn't run at all. He just teleported on top of a building nearby. Loyed said, "If Zirial keeps dodging like this, how can I experiment on his spell to see how durable it is?" Hearing this, Zirial got angry. "What? You want to experiment on me? Who do you think you are? Your attacks will never even touch me. I'll dodge every single one." After hearing this, Loyed started using a really dangerous spell. He said to Zirial, "Sorry, but this time you won't be able to dodge my attack." Then Loyed used the same spell from Gus' army called Shadow Wolf. This created extremely dangerous attacks coming at Zirial from every direction. He was terrified but managed to escape, saying, "What kind of attack was that?" Loyed said, "You dodged my attack again. Looks like I didn't teleport my attack properly." Seeing this Shadow Wolf attack, Grim got really scared. He said, "That's Gus' army's dangerous power that can teleport anything toward a target." And here Loyed just teleported his own dangerous spell. Grim told Loyed, "Don't you think you're going a bit too far? If this continues, Zirial will die." Loyed replied, "Don't be silly. Zirial said he was invincible, so this much isn't enough to defeat him. Anyway, you can relax now. This is Zed's spell. Don't worry, I won't misuse Zed's power like this." Hearing this made Grim happy. Then Loyed teleported his spell again, and this time the attack appeared right in front of Zirial, who barely dodged it. After this, Grim told Zirial, "Loyed doesn't want to kill you. Just apologize quietly and teach him divine sorcery." Zirial kept showing off, saying, "I'm invincible. You can't defeat me." Then he started running around. Loyed said, "All right, it's true that when I use this spell, I leave myself quite open, but that's fine. This time I'll give you an opening and use another dangerous spell." Loyed started preparing a really powerful spell, leaving himself completely defenseless. Seeing this opening, Zirial came to attack him. That's when Loyed got his chance to use his spell. Just as Zirial got close, Loyed activated his spell, and the attack hit Zirial directly, causing serious damage. Grim told him again, "Just apologize now." But Zirial said, "No, I won't lose. My swords are infinite. I can repair them too." Hearing this made Loyed even more excited. "Really? Now I'm even more curious. I want to know if they can regenerate infinitely too." Loyed started using his powerful spell on him again. Zirial got scared and said, "Don't do that. I was lying." But Loyed didn't listen. He used multiple spells on him all at once, creating a huge explosion that left Zirial lying on the ground. Loyed asked, "Why did he become transparent?" Grim explained, "Because all his mana ran out." Loyed said, "That's fine. At least I learned that his attacks aren't invincible or infinite. They're just a form of mana that becomes like steel, which means you can use these swords as long as you have mana." Zirial thought to himself, "Loyed, you really fought well. But since I'm about to die, you'll never be able to learn divine sorcery." But then suddenly, Loyed transferred a lot of his own mana into Zirial, bringing him back to life. Zirial asked, "Why are you saving me? I tried to kill you." Loyed replied, "That doesn't matter to me. I just want to learn divine sorcery." With all that extra mana from Loyed, Zirial became much fatter. He thought, "This kid is really innocent. He saved my life. Now I'll use Loyed for my own purposes." Zirial said to Loyed, "All right, I'll give you divine sorcery, but if you want this gift, you'll first need to make a pact with me. Only then can I share divine sorcery with you. Put your hand up." Loyed raised his hand, and Zirial grabbed it, thinking, "This fight isn't over yet, boy. I'll take advantage of this moment to go to Earth. I'll trick this kid with the pact excuse and possess his body. Then I can go to Earth and meet my favorite girls." His evil intentions were clearly visible in his smile, which both Loyed and Grim could see. Zirial said to Loyed, "Consider yourself lucky because I'll use your body very well." Then he entered Loyed's body and started laughing. "See how amazing I am. This body is mine." But then he was shocked to discover he couldn't control Loyed's body at all. Instead, he just ended up trapped in Loyed's hands. Grim said to him, "You're such a foolish angel. Didn't you know Lloyd has way too much mana? Your body's power is only as much as what fits in Lloyd's hands." Lloyd asked, "Is this pact complete now?" Zirial replied, "Yes. To use divine sorcery, an angel has to put a mana signature on the soul of the caster who wants to use divine sorcery. After that, pathways are created by singing or other methods." Lloyd asked, "Do I have to sing too?" Zirial said, "No, because now I'm inside your body myself, so the pact is complete. You can now use divine sorcery. Just call it from your soul." Hearing this, Lloyd started drawing divine sorcery from his soul. He became very focused, which worried Grim. "Are you okay?" Grim asked. Lloyd replied, "Yes, I'm fine. I was just concentrating. Divine sorcery is really powerful." Grim thought to himself, "This angel is really stupid. He doesn't realize that now that Prince Lloyd has mastered divine sorcery, he has enough power to take control of both hell and heaven. If he wanted, he could even sit on the Demon Lord's throne." Then Lloyd said, "After learning divine sorcery, I'm feeling pretty disappointed because it was way too easy to learn." Zirial asked, "Why are you disappointed by that?" Lloyd explained, "It's not like that. I enjoy the process. The result doesn't matter to me as much. I really enjoy how much effort I have to put in to gain that power. I've read so many spellbooks, and my mind is full of questions about how magic is used. When I finally learn those magics, I can see clearly how to use them. I want gaining power to require much more effort from me. That's what makes it fun." "Anyway, let's leave these philosophical discussions," Lloyd said to Zirial. "That Luxa spell you were using, that was also divine sorcery, right?" Zirial replied, "Yes, but different users get different forms of divine sorcery, so your magic's form will be different from mine. Try creating a sword once." Lloyd started using divine sorcery to create a sword. Zirial noticed that Lloyd's magic was extremely pure. It felt very pure and kind, just like an angel's. This reminded Zirial of someone he used to respect a long time ago. We then see Lloyd's sword taking on a completely different form. It looked extremely dangerous. The sword was really huge. To give you an idea of how big this sword was, Lloyd is standing here, and the sword is this big, and it's still getting bigger and bigger. Both Zirial and Grim got scared seeing this. Grim said to Lloyd, "What are you doing? Stop this sword right now." Lloyd replied, "But this sword isn't even finished yet." Hearing this shocked both Grim and Zirial even more. "What? This thing is still just being created?" Zirial said, "This Luxa power that Lloyd is using takes form according to the caster's mana. We could see this extremely dangerous sword continuing to grow." In the next scene, we see Babylon, who had gone out to investigate. He could hear the singing from inside reaching all the way outside. He said, "I came to see what this smell was about." Babylon noticed that many flowers had been planted here to hide the smell. "I should look around to see what's really going on here." He was about to investigate further when suddenly a dangerous-looking man appeared beside him. The man said, "Are you lost?" Babylon got a bit nervous seeing him, but didn't react much. The scary-looking man said to Babylon, "This church is quite big. It seems you got lost because of that. Come on, let me take you back to the recital." Babylon replied, "No, I just like these roses, so I came to see them. I hope you don't mind." The man said, "That's quite wasteful. You came here to listen to the recital, didn't you? You're wasting time here and missing the recital." Babylon said, "Leave me alone. Tell me, what are you doing?" The man replied, "Actually, I'm a priest here, and a priest's job is to guide the lost. I've been working here for many years, but sometimes even I get lost." After hearing this, Babylon said to him, "If you're a priest, why aren't you wearing a rosary? A rosary is actually a type of necklace that proves you're a member of the church." Babylon continued, "You're not wearing one. I'm new here, but I still have one. I heard that a priest always has to wear one, but you're not wearing yours." Hearing this, the man got a bit caught, but suddenly he pulled out a rosary from somewhere and said, "Sorry, I know it's wrong, but I sometimes forget to wear it." After putting on the rosary, he said to Babylon in a quite threatening way, "Take me as an example. And that example is, if you've joined the church, don't break any rules. This garden is a sacred place for the church. You shouldn't wander around here like this." Babylon said, "Sorry, I'm new so I didn't know." Just then, Ren came with Shiro looking for Babylon. But as soon as Shiro saw that man, he could feel an extremely evil presence coming from him. This scared him, and he started growling at the man. Babylon said to the man, "You're quite something. You said you've been with the church for a long time, but this rosary necklace you're wearing looks brand new. It looks like you polish it every day." After saying this, Babylon started to leave. Babylon said this about the rosary because it was obvious the man was lying about wearing this rosary daily or even being a church member. Shiro was still scared, and seeing this, the man looked at Babylon and said, "You're getting suspicious of me too. Looks like I'll have to do something." After saying this, he looked very angry and seemed like he was about to attack. But then Lloyd suddenly teleported there, shocking everyone. Lloyd asked, "What are you all doing outside? Is the recital over?" Lloyd walked right past the man, but the man didn't do anything. Lloyd didn't do anything either. He just went to play with Shiro. After this, everyone started to leave. But then Zirial recognized that man. He realized this was the same person he used to respect a long time ago. Seeing him there shocked Zirial completely. After this, Lloyd and everyone else came inside the church, where Escher and Saria asked him, "How did you like our performance?" Lloyd said, "It was great. I watched your entire performance from start to finish." Of course, Lloyd was lying here. Seeing Saria and Escher so close, Zirial got extremely excited and eager to meet them. But Lloyd closed his hand and wouldn't let him meet them. Babylon was still suspicious. He asked Escher, "Is the garden outside considered a sacred place?" She replied, "Yes. We use the flowers there to give peace to people's souls. We use them as offerings." Hearing this, Babylon said, "Then what was that rotten smell I was getting? Looks like I was just imagining things." On the other side, Lloyd told the father, "Hello, I'm leaving the church today." This shocked the father, who said, "What? But you just joined the church today." Seeing Lloyd's confidence, Babylon said, "I think Lloyd found what he was looking for. So my job is done, and whatever else is happening here has nothing to do with me." He was about to leave when Escher came to him and said, "You saved me in the afternoon, and I couldn't thank you before, so I'm thanking you now for saving me." Hearing this shocked Babylon a bit, and he thought, if she acts like this, I'll have to help the church. After this, we see that same man again, who was extremely angry and was now throwing the rosary on the ground and making it dirty. Then we see the ground rising up from that spot. The rotten smell Babylon was getting was coming from right here. We see some kind of creature trying to come out from that place. The man said, "I don't need to chase Babylon and the others. For now, I'm increasing security here because I don't want anyone interfering with me. The day I've been waiting for is almost here."
We see that Lloyd talks to Zirial and gets divine sorcery for Talia Crow and Galelia. After that, they use Luxa to make weapons for themselves. Then Zirial says he can't believe what fools he gave divine sorcery to. Lloyd tells him that the more people who know about divine sorcery, the more it helps his research. He asks Zirial to make a path for these people so they don't have to perform rituals to use their power. Zirial says he only did that for Lloyd and one other person, but he won't do it for these people. Lloyd says okay, but tells him he's being way too much of an attention seeker. He asks if Zirial can't be small like Grimm. Hearing this, Zirial asks why he should become so useless. Then Grimm says, "Don't tell me you can't do this." Zirial says that's not the case at all. After saying this, he transforms into a small bird and asks Lloyd how he likes it. Meanwhile, we see Lloyd was drinking tea and ignoring what Zirial was saying. In the next scene, Grimm asks Lloyd if the recital Escher was doing was also divine sorcery. Hearing this, Zirial says yes, it's purification divine sorcery. This magic heals people's injuries and also destroys undead demons. Then we see those same thugs who Lloyd had teleported to the mountains come there to meet Galelia. When both thugs see Lloyd, they get shocked and say, "You're the one who sent us to that mountain, right?" We learn that these two thugs live in Ludos and Galelia is their boss. Then we see both thugs talk about killing Lloyd. Hearing this, Galelia tells Lloyd to please forgive these people. He says he doesn't know why they're acting like this, and for their mistake, he'll cut off one of his fingers. After hearing this, Lloyd says none of this is necessary. Seeing this, the thugs ask why he's taking this kid's side so much, and if he doesn't do anything, they'll both attack him. After saying this, they both attack Lloyd, but Lloyd uses his divine sorcery to erase their memories and makes them good people. In the next scene, we see those people start apologizing to Lloyd for their mistake. Seeing this, everyone gets shocked and wonders how this happened. Then Zirial says basically this spell isn't that effective, but since Lloyd used this spell, it's having such a strong effect on these people. Then both thugs say they're very ashamed because what they did to his sister was very wrong, and they'll apologize to her too. Meanwhile, Zirial asks why they're apologizing. Then Grimm explains that these people were bothering Escher and Saria. Hearing this, Zirial gets really angry and goes to kill both of them, but Grimm grabs him and tells him to stop. Then Grimm says if these two are from Ludos, why didn't Ren and Babylon recognize them? Talia says Ren always stays in the castle, so she doesn't know who these two are, and Babylon meets very few people, so he has no idea about them either. Then she asks where he is right now. Grimm says at this time, Babylon is making food for everyone at the church, fixing Lloyd's mistakes. In the next scene, we see everyone really likes the food Babylon made, and everyone was very happy. They say it's really good that you finally decided to stay here. Then we get to see a past scene where Lloyd, with Zirial's help, also gives Babylon divine sorcery and tells him to take good care of this place. Then we see the present scene again where Lloyd was in his room and many maids welcome him. Seeing so many beautiful maids, Zirial gets really happy and says Lloyd is really famous and how good a prince's life is. He's glad he decided to stay here. In the next scene, we see he starts making a lot of noise. Seeing this, Grimm slaps him and says if you want to stay here, you have to stay peacefully. Then we see Lloyd takes out his wooden doll. Seeing this, Zirial Zirial gets shocked and asks what this thing is. Then Grimm tells him it's a wooden doll that Lloyd made himself and it does some small tasks. Then we see Lloyd tells the doll to bring tea. Meanwhile, a bad and dirty idea comes to Zirial's mind. He thinks if this is a doll, then he can control its body and go bathe with the maids. Seeing all this, Grimm gets really angry and says, "Stay in your limits, and if you even touch this doll, I won't spare you." In the next scene, we see Lloyd was drinking tea. Then he says they'll now go to kill undead ghouls because they could be perfect targets to test his divine sorcery. Grimm asks if there are so many ghouls there. Then Lloyd explains that when they went to Lordost, he collected a lot of information about them. Then we see someone is at the door. Seeing this, the doll and everyone else hide. We find out it wasn't someone else but Silpha at the door. Then she asks Lloyd if he called her. Lloyd says yes, he called her, and if she's free, would she like to come ghoul hunting with them? After hearing this, she runs away from there. Seeing this, everyone gets confused about why she ran away like that. In the next scene, we see Silpha comes back with all her stuff ready and says she's free to go with them. Then we see Ren also comes with those people. Now they enter the city. Seeing that place, Ren says this place is really amazing, and she can't believe there are ghouls in this town too. Then Silpha says the Adventure Guild also gets complaints that ghouls have been seen in this place. Then Lloyd asks her if she can use her spell to find those ghouls. But she refuses and says she can't do that because they smell like rotten meat. So it's very difficult to find them in such a place because waste food is thrown here. Then Lloyd thinks this place is very populated, and because of this, his spectral detection also won't be able to find those ghouls. But then they see Escher, and Saria had also come there. Seeing them, Lloyd says, "How did you come here without bodyguards?" Then Escher says they wanted to eat some pancakes for lunch and asks if he'd like to come too. Hearing this, Zirial says they should all go, but Grimm stops him and says they have work to do right now, so they can't eat pancakes. But meanwhile, everyone looks at Lloyd and he got really happy just hearing the name pancakes. In the next scene, we see they all come to eat pancakes, and Grimm says he's really surprised to see that Lloyd is interested in something other than magic. And Lloyd tells Grimm that pancakes are also magic, and he tells everyone how pancakes are made and what they taste like. Hearing all this makes them hungry. In the next scene, we see Saria tells Lloyd that if he's eating pancakes here for the first time, he should eat them simply. Then Lloyd tells her okay, as she says. Then we see all of them start eating pancakes. After eating them, they get really happy because they were very tasty. Then Escher asks them what they're doing here. Then they tell her they came here to hunt ghouls. Hearing this, Escher gets scared. Then they ask her if she's heard about ghouls. Hearing this, she says yes, she's heard that ghouls attack people. That's why people come to the church to avoid them. Most of the time, many people have seen ghouls around the bridge. Some adventurers even went to kill those ghouls, but they haven't returned yet. Hearing all this, Lloyd gets really scared and starts thinking something. And Saria says she's just worried that the recital might get cancelled. Hearing this, Ren asks if they're going to do another recital. They say yes, and this time they'll do even better than last time because this recital is going to be for the Great Advent Festival. This is the day God was born, so they celebrate it. The King and Pope are also coming to see this recital. Then Escher tells them she'd be really happy if they came too. She hopes the recital happens and no ghoul matter comes up. Hearing this, Ren gets a little sad and decides she'll kill those ghouls. She says the recital had really lovely songs. She ate pancakes too. She loves this country very much, and that's why she won't let anyone get hurt. In the next scene, we see they come near that same bridge. Then Ren asks which side the ghouls would be on. Then Lloyd tells them the ghouls would be down in the sewer. Then they come there. Meanwhile, Shiro and Silpha couldn't smell anything because there was a really bad smell coming from there. Then they say maybe there's something here. Then Lloyd says he'll have to go inside and check because he's worried about those missing ventures. We see Tao comes out of that sewer and hugs Lloyd. Seeing her, Lloyd gets really happy and asks if she's okay. She says yes, she's fine. He shouldn't worry about her. After saying this, she starts clinging to Lloyd even more, and Lloyd asks Silpha to move her away, and Silpha hits Tao and pushes her back, and Lloyd asks Tao if she's coming from this sewer and if there are ghouls here. Hearing this, she says she didn't find a single ghoul here, and this sewer is really dirty. Because of that, she got lost. Then she felt his presence and followed that presence and came out. She explains that there's a maze built inside. There's such a bad smell that it's very difficult to focus on Ki, and she says she's going back to her room and will come back with some stuff like torches. After saying this, she starts to leave, but then Lloyd says there's no need for that. And we see Lloyd uses divine sorcery Helios. Because of this, there's a lot of light inside that sewer. Now they could see inside the sewer very well. And Lloyd says this isn't just used for light, but this spell is also used for purification. After saying this, Lloyd uses that spell again. Then we see because of that, the entire sewer becomes completely clean. Now there's no bad smell coming from it, and the water also became completely clean. Then Tao says now her tiredness is gone, and so is all that bad smell. Hearing this, everyone gets shocked. Then Tao says the air here has become very clean now, so she can easily focus on Kai. After saying this, she uses spectral detection and starts looking for those ghouls. In the next scene, we see Ren gives her new clothes to wear, and they look really good on her. Then Tao takes them forward and says the ghouls are around us. Then Shiro signals and says he'll bring the ghouls out. After saying this, he leaves. We see he's now come far from Lloyd's spell and gets caught in that bad smell. He starts holding and closing his nose, but still doesn't give up. He goes inside to bring out the ghouls. Meanwhile, Lloyd understands that it'll take time for Shiro to come, so he'll do his spectral detection and scan this area. Lloyd is just doing this when Tao grabs him. She tells him she caught him red-handed and asks asks where he learned to breathe, like that. Then Lloyd asks Silpha to move her away. Then Silpha hits Tao and moves her away from Lloyd. Then we see Lloyd ask Silpha if she brought her sword with her. Hearing this, she says no, because she understood that he brought her along because he was going to give her some weapon. That's why she didn't bring her sword. After hearing this, Lloyd says she's really smart. Then Tao tells Silpha this is the best opportunity to see who's more powerful among them. Then she says, let's play a game and settle things. Hearing this, Silpha says they didn't come here to waste time. They came here to test Lloyd's divine sorcery. Then Tao says whoever wins this game will go on a date with Lloyd for one day. Hearing this, Ren and Lloyd get really shocked. Lloyd asks Tao what she's saying and if her mind has gone bad. Then Tao says they're just helping with his experiment and they should get something for it. Meanwhile, we see Silpha getting really angry at Tao. Then she tells her to stay in her limits and asks how she dared to challenge her. Hearing this, Tao gets really scared and asks her if she'll play this game or not. Then Ren says she also wants to play this game. After that, we see Shiro comes there bringing many ghouls out. Seeing this, Tao tells everyone the rule of this game is that whoever kills the most ghouls will win this game. Then the others agree to play this game. After that, Lloyd gives weapons to each of them. Then he tells everyone this is Luxa and they should use it on a trial basis and tell him how they like it. Hearing this, Tao says everyone understands that whoever kills more ghouls will go on a date with Lloyd. Then everyone gets ready. Then we see Tao kills 2 ghouls. Like this, Tao starts killing many more ghouls. Seeing this, everyone gets surprised. Then Tao is about to defeat her 5th and 6th ghouls, but then Silpha comes and stops her right there. Silpha moves Tao aside and kills those ghouls herself. Seeing this, Tao gets really angry. She goes to kill many more ghouls, but Silpha follows her. Like this, both of them are now fighting together and killing many ghouls. They're both taking out their anger on each other through those ghouls. And we see sometimes one is killing more ghouls, sometimes the other. They both start fighting with each other. Seeing this, Tao praises Silpha and says, Silpha isn't using any key technique or magic, but still all her moves are really powerful. She's amazing. Then Silpha sees that Tao has damaged her weapon. Seeing this, she also praises Tao in her mind. Then they tell Lloyd that these weapons aren't doing much damage and they need new weapons. Meanwhile, Ren was really shocked seeing both of them. She says these two are amazing. These two are fighting ghouls while also fighting each other. Along with that, they're giving Lloyd information about this weapon. She also has to help Lloyd because she wants to go on a date with him too. After saying this, an idea comes to her mind. She puts her poison on her weapon. Seeing this, Lloyd gets impressed and says Ren has put a poison effect on her weapon. This is really interesting. Meanwhile, Ren thought that since she put poison on her weapon must have become much more powerful. But in reality, nothing like that happens. As soon as she attacks a ghoul, her weapon breaks. Seeing this, she gets really scared. From all this, Lloyd gets even more information. He says divine sorcery is really complicated. If anyone tries to change it just like that, divine sorcery's effectiveness might decrease. Meanwhile, the ghoul starts chasing Ren. Ren tells Lloyd to forgive her because she couldn't help him. Hearing this, Lloyd says that's not the case, and she gave him a good idea. After saying this, Lloyd makes another weapon ready for her and gives it to her. Seeing it, Ren says this looks just the same as the previous weapon. After saying this, she attacks that ghoul and kills it with poison in one go. Seeing this, she gets really shocked and asks Lloyd what he did, and Lloyd says he put a poison effect on divine sorcery after watching her. Hearing this, Grimm says now he understands that this weapon isn't poisonous, it's just showing this effect on ghouls because of divine sorcery. Then we see Zerial gets really shocked seeing all this. He says he didn't even know it could be used like this. Hearing this, Grimm says yes, this can happen because God made divine sorcery to fight demons. But since this divine sorcery has come into Lloyd's hands, Lloyd can now do many experiments with it and evolve it too. In the next scene, we see Lloyd makes a new weapon for Silpha. After that, all 3 of them start fighting those ghouls together. Seeing this, Grimm says Lloyd has really amazing assistants who can test his new weapons. After this, we see they had killed 23 ghouls together. Now there was one last ghoul left in front of them. They were all going to kill it. Everyone says whoever kills this last ghoul will go on a date with Lloyd. After saying this, they all attack that ghoul with their full power. Then we see that the last ghoul was really powerful. It defeats all 3 of them at once. Seeing this, everyone gets really shocked. Meanwhile, Lloyd turns back and looks at that ghoul. He understands that this ghoul is really powerful. In the next scene, we see a man who had grabbed a father by the throat. He says some intruders have entered below us and now he'll have to increase security even more. And we see there was a ghost-like being with that man. The ghost asks him if it can control this man's body. Hearing this, the man tells the ghost that if it does that, it can roam freely throughout the church. In the next scene, we see Escher sees all this. Seeing all this, she gets really scared and asks that man what he's doing. Hearing this, the man says, look, another piece of trash has come and he'll have to handle it too. We see a powerful ghoul appear in front of them, completely wrecking their day. Ren notices something strange. The monster has attached a string to her leg. She stares at it, totally confused, trying to figure out what the heck this thing is. Meanwhile, Tao gets angry and rushes back to attack the monster, but suddenly, she just sits down on the ground. She's as shocked as anyone, wondering why her body just did that on its own. The monster starts pulling out more of these weird strings. That's exactly how it forced Tao to sit down, and now it's about to attack her. But then, Silpha jumps in and cuts through those strings like a boss. Silpha says her hand isn't working right for some reason, and Tao agrees. None of them know what this monster is actually doing to them. The monster throws its strings at Lloyd next. The moment those strings touch him, the monster suddenly senses this massive amount of power coming from Lloyd. It's so intense and dangerous that even the monster gets scared. The three of them team up and attack together, but the monster dodges everything they throw at it. They're all shocked at how fast this thing moves. Ren figures it out first. She tells everyone the monster is using its spinal cord and automatic reflexes to avoid their attacks. Lloyd looks closer at the string and realizes it's not actually a string at all. It's a tiny piece of bone shaped like a thread. He explains that it's a spinal thread the monster extends from its own body. This reminds Ren of something important. She tells Silpha and Tao about what Jade once explained to her about something called a neuron blighted. If you don't remember, blighted people are those who can't control their powers properly. Back then, these people couldn't control their abilities either, which basically made them blighted too. Jade had read about this neuron blighted case in the newspaper. He explained that this person's body released endless spinal threads made of mana. When these threads made contact with someone else's body, they would interfere with that person's nervous system. Basically, the blighted person could control anyone they wanted using these threads. The threads surrounded this person's entire body, letting them sense everything around them and making them incredibly fast. They had sent this guy into battle during a civil war, and he killed everyone there. He was basically a living biological weapon. Everyone gets angry hearing this. How could a country use blighted people as weapons like that? Jade continues, explaining that this person couldn't control his power any better than they could, but he was still incredibly powerful. It didn't matter if his friend or enemy appeared in front of him. He would attack anyone without mercy. Even after getting shot in the heart, his automatic reflexes kept making him kill people. No one could even touch him. He became like a zombie. It took everything they had to finally throw his body into the ocean. After hearing this whole story, Tao asks the obvious question, but if this guy died, how is he alive again? Ren thinks about it and says that before, his body was just moving through automatic reflexes. But this is different. Now he's actually moving with purpose and control. Lloyd gives his theory. I think when that body fell into the water, it became a ghoul. I've never heard of a ghoul that remembers its past memories. Tao, Silpha, and Ren get ready to fight again. They figure they just need to avoid those strings. They're about to charge in when the monster releases a bunch of strings all at once. Each string carries a different command. Fall on your head, sit down, slip, and fall. When some of the strings hit them, they all start falling headfirst to the ground. The scene switches to the church where Escher sees some guy beating up the father. A ghost-like creature asks its master, "Should I possess this girl?" The guy says, "Yeah, go ahead, and I'll finish off this priest." He starts choking the father really hard. Escher tries to save the father, but the ghost comes after her, ready to attack. That's when Babylon shows up and uses his divine sorcery to destroy the ghost and attack the guy's hand, forcing him to let go of the father. After doing all this, Babylon, who had been sitting up high, calls down to the guy. "What's wrong? Looks like you're lost again. Want me to show you the right way?" The guy responds, "There's nothing you can show me that I don't already know." He gets so angry that he transforms right there. Back to our heroes. Silpha, Ren, and Tao have gotten back up to fight the monster. This time, they're completely serious about winning. They attack together, and the monster throws more strings at them. But this time, they dodge the strings and get right up close to him. The monster blocks all their attacks in one move because he's using those reflexes to defend himself, but they're thinking smart now. Silpha goes behind him and attacks with her sword, forcing the monster to use both hands to block her blade. This gives Ren the perfect chance to jump on him and use her poison. Ziriel wonders if poison will even work on a ghoul, but Lloyd confirms it will. Sure enough, the monster gets poisoned. Lloyd explains that Ren used a neurotoxin to mess up his nervous system. That's why he's paralyzed and can't control himself properly. Tao takes advantage of this moment and kicks him hard. Ren warns them the paralysis won't last long, so they need to finish this quickly. Tao agrees and starts punching the ghoul repeatedly. Then the monster uses his strings again. Tao dodges them, but she still gets a little hurt. This time, the monster's threads were so powerful, they actually cut through the other ghouls' bodies in the area. Seeing this, Tao gets scared but doesn't give up. She grabs onto his strings and throws him towards Silpha. Silpha was ready with her sword, and as soon as the monster gets close, she attacks and sends him flying far away. Everyone gets excited, thinking they won. Ren asks, "Did we actually win?" But Silpha shakes her head. "No, his reflexes came back just before I could hit him properly, so he escaped. I heard that blighted people can't control their powers, but this monster was controlling his abilities just fine. This situation is way more serious than I thought. I can't let him get away." We see the monster again as he escapes outside. He says, "My master is still in the church, and I'm going to him. The day my master has been waiting for is almost here. I'll play with those 3 adventurers later when the time is right. We'll meet again soon." Just as he's about to leave, Lloyd appears and snaps his fingers. The monster's leg immediately breaks. Meanwhile, Silpha, Tao, and Ren find a message Lloyd left with Shiro saying he went to handle the number 2 priority. Back to the monster. He's completely freaked out seeing Lloyd's power. This makes him remember his whole life. He says his life was terrible from the very beginning. He was constantly abused and had nowhere to live, which is why he was killed. That's how he became a wraith, basically a ghost. He could only control the bodies of weak people. Using weak bodies meant he couldn't get his revenge properly. He couldn't possess strong people because their spirits were too powerful. He could only possess people with weak spirits. That's when he met his master, who gave him this monster's body, a Civil War soldier's body that was incredibly powerful. The wraith possessed this body and realized he and the original owner had a lot in common. Both of them had suffered a lot before dying. The person who gave him the body said, "This body is yours now." And the wraith asked what he wanted in return. The guy just laughed and said, "I don't want anything. Use this body however you want." Wraith immediately went and killed everyone who had murdered him originally. After getting his revenge, he had nothing left to do. When he returned, his master welcomed him home, saying, "Welcome back home." The wraith had never heard words like that before in his life. He was so happy that he started thinking of this guy as his true master. Back in the present, Lloyd is releasing his aura, and the monster's body starts trembling with fear from the reflexes. The monster thinks there's something different about this kid. He was the first one to notice my thread and make contact with it. I sensed so much mana from him that even I was shocked. This kid is terrifying. How did he get so much? Mana. Seeing Lloyd's power, the monster pleads, "Please don't hurt me, let me go." But then he realizes that if he doesn't stop Lloyd, Lloyd will go hurt his master. Can't let that happen. The monster gets angry and heals his leg and rushes to attack Lloyd. He dodges most of Lloyd's attacks as he moves forward. One attack breaks his arm. Still, the monster doesn't give up. He says, "No problem, I'll fight with just one hand." He charges at Lloyd, who's just casually standing there eating food. Just as the monster is about to attack, Lloyd suddenly creates a barrier, completely blocking the monster's attack. Then Lloyd attacks back and defeats him. Before dying, the monster asks himself and the original body's owner what he should have done to win. Then he notices that Lloyd's divine sorcery magic feels really warm. It calms the monster down a bit. Asks Lloyd, "Who are you exactly?" Shocks both Lloyd and Grim. Can this ghoul actually talk? Lloyd gets super excited and says, "Should have told me this earlier. I wouldn't have hurt you so much. Want to know how your body works, and if you remember your name. Want to learn so much more about you. Come with me." Seeing Lloyd's kindness, monster gets really happy because he's never experienced love like this before. Takes Lloyd's hand and starts crying, wondering if he's crying or if the body is crying. He feels so good that he thanks Lloyd and apologizes. That's when we see a flashback where his master had given the monster a ball-like object, saying it was a divine spell. When it breaks, both the body and soul would be destroyed instantly. The master had told him to swallow this ball. Back in the present, the ball breaks, causing a huge explosion that destroys the monster. His master immediately knows what happened down there and gets completely shocked. The divine magic affects Grim badly, so Lloyd has to heal him. Both Lloyd and Zerial are shocked that a monster had divine sorcery. Zerial explains that the spell that just went off was really advanced. Only a few people can cast something like that. Lloyd remembers that before dying, the monster had asked him to meet his master. Remembering this, Lloyd picks up the monster's sword and says, "So you have a master too? That's pretty interesting." Meanwhile, Babylon notices that the master guy has stopped moving and tells Escher to take the father and get out of there. Escher asks what he'll do, and Babylon says he'll handle things alone and doesn't want anyone else getting involved because no one can defeat this guy. He's not sure why the guy suddenly stopped, but it gave Escher a chance to escape. He'll wait until she's safely away, then run too. But then the guy wakes up and asks where Escher went. Babylon tells him she left. The guy asks if Babylon thinks he's a monster. Babylon wonders if he's saying this because of how his body looks. The guy says it's a long story and there's no point explaining since Babylon is going to die anyway. He attacks Babylon, who jumps into the air to dodge. Babylon remembers how Lloyd had told him to stay at the church because he was suspicious of that guy. Babylon had been surprised that Lloyd had noticed him too. Lloyd had said that as a prince, he doesn't face much danger, but Babylon had to survive a lot to get where he is, so he knows when something's wrong. Babylon had thought maybe he was just imagining things, and since this didn't seem related to sorcery, why was Lloyd getting involved? Lloyd had said that in his opinion, everything involves sorcery, and it's Babylon's job to take care of things here. Back in the present, Babylon remembers all this and wonders why he's not feeling scared. Maybe it's because he can't sense how powerful his opponent is, or maybe the guy isn't really trying to hurt him that much. Babylon starts attacking, but the guy fights back with his body. Babylon dodges his attacks and realizes this guy really is trying to kill him. He keeps dodging and uses his divine sorcery to hold him back. The guy gets shocked seeing Babylon use divine sorcery. Babylon remembers that Lloyd had touched him earlier and thinks he needs to ask Lloyd what kind of buffs he gave him, because right now he's feeling really brave. Babylon gets close to the guy, knowing he can't beat him physically or with a knife. The only way to win is with divine sorcery. He starts using a purifying class spell called Glow, saying it will change the guy's heart. But Babylon doesn't have enough mana to change his heart with just one attack, so he'll keep attacking continuously with the same spell. He explains that divine sorcery is amazing because the spell creates so much light that enemies can't see your position. He tells the guy, "See the power of this magic? You can't see me, and your game ends here." But suddenly, the guy attacks and cuts through Babylon's body. Babylon is shocked. How did he find him? Babylon realizes the guy found his position by his smell. The guy says, "You were targeting my heart, right? Sorry, but targeting there won't do you any good." Meanwhile, Lloyd has no idea what's happening at the church, and we see Escher safely taking the father away. Back at the church, the guy knocks Babylon to the ground after attacking him. Babylon starts bleeding heavily. The guy says, "See, I told you that you had nothing to show me." We see Babylon get back up and attack the guy again, which totally shocks the man because he can't believe Babylon is still alive. Babylon starts explaining that his power is having a super flexible body. When he was about to get hit, he changed his body structure so he didn't take as much damage. But then, Babylon says his limit is almost up and he needs to end this fight fast. He starts attacking with divine sorcery again, but this guy is incredibly tough, so Babylon takes even more damage. Still, he doesn't give up and uses his soul's power too, launching attack after attack. But nothing's working on this guy, and Babylon gets exhausted. He says, "Just give up already," and starts thinking about Escher, hoping she got away safely. We see that Babylon's attacks still aren't doing anything to this guy, who then attacks Babylon and throws him straight into the church wall. Babylon's in really bad shape now. The guy walks over and says, "Wait, let me show you some real divine sorcery," and creates a bunch of swords with his magic. Babylon gets scared seeing this, wondering how this guy knows divine sorcery too. Then we see the guy's eyes suddenly double, and he attacks Babylon with all those swords. In the next scene, we see Escher, who's made it to the guild and brought father with her. Katerina sees them and asks what happened to them. The other adventurers come over too, asking Escher if there's a problem and saying they'll help if she needs it. Escher's about to ask for help when she remembers Babylon told her not to call anyone for help, so she lies to them, saying father just slipped in the rain and needs some rest and that she has to go. She leaves and starts crying as she runs toward the church, thinking about how stupid she was for not asking those adventurers for help. They all looked pretty strong, but then she remembers how incredibly powerful that guy was. She realizes even if she brought all those adventurers, they would have all been killed because that guy was way too strong and nobody could stop him. She has to find some way to save Babylon or he's going to die. As she's running to the church, she remembers how that guy told her he hated her singing. This makes Escher think that singing is the only thing she's good at, and if that guy doesn't even like her singing, how can she possibly stop him? Escher starts praying to God, saying, "Take my life, but please save Babylon." While running, she trips and falls and starts crying right there on the ground. But then someone comes up to her. It's Lloyd with an umbrella. He says they're heading to the guild and Silpha and everyone else are buying raincoats, so if she waits a bit, he'll take her to the church. Lloyd starts to leave, but Escher stops him, begging him to save Babylon because he's in danger. Then she says, "Sorry, you're just a kid. What could you even do? Just forget everything I said." She starts crying again, but when she opens her eyes, Lloyd isn't there anymore. We find out that Lloyd teleported to the church in just 1 second. He sees Babylon in terrible condition from what that guy did to him, and Lloyd gets really angry. In the next scene, we see Babylon, who's now in heaven in his mind, where he meets Jade. Babylon tells Jade how much he loves Escher's singing. While Babylon's telling Jade everything, Jade suddenly brings Babylon with him and tells him to look ahead. Babylon's shocked because he can hear Escher's singing, and he realizes it's time for him to go back. He tells Jade that next time he comes, they'll have a drink together. As Babylon's leaving, he sees that monster and the ghost there too, meaning they've also made it to heaven. Babylon says goodbye to Jade and leaves. When Babylon wakes up, he sees Escher singing for him. Everyone gets really happy seeing that Babylon's awake, and Escher feels so relieved that she passes out from exhaustion and falls asleep right there. Babylon gets confused and asks someone to explain what's going on and how he got here. We learn what actually happened. When Babylon was injured, Lloyd brought him to Lordist for treatment, and it's been 3 days since Babylon finally woke up. Lloyd sent Tao to guard the church and sent Silpha to the Adventure Guild to report everything that happened at the church. After that, Albert was told everything that happened at the castle. Lloyd also brought Escher and father to Lordist to keep them safe, and all the nuns from the church were sent to the castle for their safety. The 2 guys that Lloyd had reformed with his power are now working together to rebuild the church since it was pretty destroyed. After hearing all this, Babylon asks where Prince Lloyd is. Galelia says it's good that you woke up, and Babylon asks what's so good about it. Right then, Lloyd teleports in saying he came to experiment on Babylon and wake him up, but when he sees Babylon's already awake, he looks a bit disappointed because he can't do his experiments. In the next scene, Babylon says he's glad his body is so flexible because that's what saved his life. But Talia calls him an idiot, saying he's not alive because of that. He's alive because Zirial and Lloyd were treating him with healing magic for 10 straight hours, but he still wouldn't wake up. Hearing this, Babylon gets scared and says it seems like he put everyone through a lot of stress and thanks them for saving him. Lloyd says if he wants to thank someone, thank Escher and Jade, because Escher was constantly purifying him until he woke up, and if Lloyd didn't have Escher and Jade's teleportation power, Babylon would have died. Babylon agrees, and then tells everyone everything that happened at the church. After hearing the whole story, Zirial asks if his opponent turned into a monster and could use divine sorcery too, wondering how a monster could possibly have divine sorcery. Grimm says when they went into that underground area with the ghouls, they saw the same kind of magic there, so maybe that ghoul had divine sorcery too. Zirial says he doesn't know about that either. Babylon explains that he used glow spell and attacked that guy a bunch of times, but for some reason his heart never changed. Lloyd explains that's because the guy probably didn't feel like he was doing anything wrong. Purification only works on people who have some sense that they've made a mistake. This spell can't create feelings that don't already exist, or maybe that guy has a body that even divine sorcery can't affect. But whatever it is, that guy is seriously dangerous. In the next scene, Lloyd goes to Father to investigate. Father tells Lloyd that the guy grabbed his throat and told him to increase security. Hearing this, Lloyd realizes the guy wanted the Yi wraiths to possess Father and Escher, so the church's security would be stronger. But why would he want that? Lloyd asks Babylon when he first met this guy. Babylon says he was just watching the garden. That's where he met him the first time. 2. Lloyd remembers that Escher said the guy thought her singing was terrible. After hearing all this, Lloyd says there's definitely something hidden in that garden. We see that Lloyd's basically become a detective now. He goes back to the church, where he sees those guys have fixed it up. Lloyd thanks Tao for watching the church and asks if anything happened. She says not much, just that Katarina the receptionist came by and she told her everything in detail. Lloyd asks what Katarina said about it. Right then, Katarina shows up looking really angry, saying she feels like she should quit the adventuring guild. Tao asks why, and Katarina explains that when Tao told her everything, she contacted church headquarters and told them about that guy. We're shown the church headquarters where the Pope and other church leaders are meeting. You could say the Pope is the head of the church. They're shown a photo of that guy and told what he did. A lady explains that people are asking if they know this guy who hurt some people, that the church staff got to safety during the attack, and that this guy used the divine spell lux, so people want to know if he's working with the church. Some people get angry hearing this, asking how a monster could be a church member and who's spreading these rumors that he's with the church. The lady explains that Babylon, who was fighting that guy, used to be a criminal, but is currently serving the governor of Lordest Island. The people say, how can they trust a criminal who's just spreading rumors? The Pope calms everyone down and says they can't say anything without proof. The people ask how he can believe this criminal, so the Pope says he knows, which is why they'll ask for evidence. If they're going to accuse the church, they need to provide some proof. After explaining all this, Katarina gets angry and says, how could they do that? She apologizes, saying the guild can't help with this incident and they can't even put up wanted posters for that guy. Lloyd says, no need to apologize, they just need to gather evidence and they'll definitely find something if they dig around. So they all start digging up the ground, which makes Father angry. He tells them not to do that because it's a secret place. Lloyd says if they don't do this, they won't find any evidence. Shiro could also find evidence, but for some reason he's avoiding Lloyd, and it seems like he knows where things are, but he's hiding it. And we see Crow using his crow ability to ask the crows what's wrong here. All the crows start looking for evidence together. We learn that Shiro is actually really scared, which is why he doesn't want to investigate. We see Saria arrive with Ren. Saria gets really happy seeing Escher and says she's glad Escher's okay. She asks if Escher will be alright for the recital and if she'll be able to perform. Escher is still pretty scared. Saria also thanks Babylon for saving Escher. Babylon says since she knows Escher was attacked, she could be attacked again, so it would be better to cancel the recital. Hearing this, Saria looks at Escher and sees how scared she really is. Saria says okay, if that's the case, she'll perform alone at the recital and leaves. But then Crow's crows come back and tell them something's wrong here. Silpha goes to check it out and discovers there's a hidden door. She lifts it up and a really nasty smell starts coming out. Everyone's shocked to see there's a hidden basement here. Lloyd notices the basement door is made of special wood that couldn't be detected by mana or keys, which is why nobody noticed it before. Escher asks what's going on under the church and why there's such a horrible smell. She tries to go down and look, but Crow stops her, saying she shouldn't go down there. Hearing this, Escher gets scared. Babylon also tells Escher to stay here with Father. As he starts to go inside, Escher can't stand watching and says please let her come with them, promising she won't cause any trouble. Babylon says no, she shouldn't go, and he's about to scold her when Talia comes over and stops Babylon. She says he's the one who's injured and should stay here with Father. She takes him and Father away with her. Babylon asks Talia what she's doing, saying she knows it could be dangerous down there. Talia says yes, she knows, but Escher needs to overcome her fear or it'll ruin her singing, which Talia doesn't want because she's a fan of Escher's, just like Babylon is. We find out that Saria was also secretly watching all this from behind. Escher decides she'll go inside even though she's really scared. She says she has to go in and overcome her fear because if she doesn't, she'll never be able to sing again. Shiro hears what Escher's saying and it gives him courage too. Even though Shiro was scared, he also goes inside to help everyone. As soon as everyone goes down, they get really scared seeing what's down there. They see that really dangerous experiments had been done there, and looking at this place, it's obvious that many people were killed here for experiments. Everyone starts shaking with fear seeing seeing this horrible scene, but we see that Lloyd just stands there calmly, taking it all in. We're shown a flashback scene where Babylon was seriously injured and unconscious. His condition was really bad, and everyone was trying to wake him up, but he just wouldn't respond. Seeing this made everyone incredibly sad. Then Escher shows up and says she wants to use her power, her divine sorcery, to heal Babylon, and pleads with them to let her do it. But Talia tells her not to do it and to go rest instead. Escher doesn't listen and insists she's fine, that they should let her use her power and sing. After hearing this, Talia gets angry and is about to slap her, but Galilea stops her just in time. Talia then tells Escher that they've discovered the guy who attacked Babylon is connected to the church, so they can't trust anyone who's associated with the church. After saying this, Talia storms off. We then see Escher go over to Babylon and start singing to him. The scene jumps back to the present, where we saw Lloyd and everyone else enter that guy's hidden base. What they see there shocks them all completely. Lloyd is also stunned as they discover that horrific experiments have been performed on tons of people. Escher can't handle seeing all this, and it makes her feel sick. Silpha points out that there are both monsters and humans here. Then Silpha notices they can hear the repair work going on at the church all the way down here. Silpha says that Ingai always claimed he could hear Escher's singing, which means this must be his hideout. Galilea says it doesn't look like he's here, and wonders if he'll come back. Silpha doesn't think he'll return because after all the destruction he caused above, he probably knows they've found this place. Ren tells Silpha that the bodies here are sewn together with needles and thread, just like those ghouls they fought in the sewers. This shocks Silpha, who realizes that everything happening in the sewers was part of that guy's plan too. But what exactly is he doing here? Lloyd explains that he's doing synthesis. This place looks like an alchemy lab where they extract cells from living organisms and put them into other bodies. It seems like that guy wants to put wraiths, ghosts, inside people. Lloyd figured this out from reading some pages there that detailed all the experiment methods. Hearing this shocks Escher completely. How could such dangerous things be happening in the church? Silpha says it's hard to know if what they were fighting were real ghouls or creatures made from different humans, basically chimeras. This makes Ren angry, and she says it's absolutely terrible that this guy's playing with people's lives like this, and they can't just let him get away with it. Silpha agrees, but wonders what he plans to do with all these modified beings he's creating. Lloyd says whatever that guy wants to do, it's definitely something bad. In his mind, Lloyd is convinced that guy has modified his own body too, and he wants to see just how much research went into making himself like that. Silpha suggests they destroy this lab, and everyone agrees. This shocks Lloyd, who asks if she's really going to completely destroy this place. Silpha confirms she will, but says she'll do it later because first they need to report everything to Prince Albert. Suddenly, a creature appears and attacks Lloyd, but Crow jumps in and uses his power to make the attack fall down. The attack drops, and they see the creature that attacked them. It's half human, half snake, a lamia. Seeing this, Galilea realizes the guy who lives here has left monsters like this behind as guards. Lloyd figures out something about this lamia and tells Crow not to kill her. Crow agrees he won't kill her. The lamia attacks them with air slashes, but Galilea protects everyone with his net-like power. Crow and Ren move forward to fight the lamia. When Ren attacks, the lamia creates a barrier around herself, shocking everyone. How could a lamia use such advanced techniques? Galilea says if this keeps up, the fight will go on forever, but Lloyd thinks to himself that it won't last long. Crow uses his power again, commanding the lamia to sit down. His power goes right through the lamia's barrier, which really impresses Lloyd. Crow keeps using his power, repeatedly telling her to sit down. Since Crow's powers now include divine sorcery, they've become much stronger, and he defeats the lamia this way. Everyone is shocked and tells Crow he's become incredibly powerful, beating her in just one attack. Then Lloyd approaches the lamia and reveals that she's not actually a lamia. She's a human that guy created. This shocks everyone even more. How could that guy perform such experiments on living people? Ren gets scared and asks what they should do with this lamia. The lamia struggles angrily, trying to break free. Crow has no choice but to use his power to subdue her again. But then, Escher steps forward. Escher is really nervous but controls herself and tells the lamia not to worry, that she doesn't need to be afraid, and that they're here to help her. Seeing Escher get so close, Galilea tells her to step back, but Lloyd stops Galilea and walks away himself. We see the lamia break free and attack Escher, injuring her. In her mind, Escher tells the lamia that she did the right thing, that she knows she's terrified, just like how she was scared of that guy. For so long, she's felt powerless, over and over again. After saying this, Escher starts crying, but then she hears Saria playing piano. Saria is playing piano in the church at this moment, and hearing it gives Escher courage. She picks herself up, realizing what she needs to do. Escher starts singing along with the piano music. The song is so beautiful that even the lamia begins to calm down. Crow also gets emotional hearing Escher's song, remembering how she sang for Babylon in the past when his condition was really bad. Talia arrives and asks how long she's been singing. Crow tells her since she got here for 12 hours straight. This shocks Talia, who says that's crazy. She's not even casting divine sorcery, her mana is completely drained, but she's still singing. This girl is amazing. After saying this, both Talia and Crow start crying. The scene returns to the present, where the lamia calms down from hearing the song. She says she remembers this song. She used to hear it all the time when she was trapped in this place. When she heard this singing, that guy would also calm down and and stop moving. She remembers that when the monster part of her body tried to take control, listening to this song helped her. This means the lady singing in front of her is the same person who kept her from losing control. Everyone really enjoys Escher's singing, and Lloyd becomes very happy. The girl also calms down completely. The Lamia apologizes to Escher, saying she's human, and starts crying hard. Escher hugs her and says, "Please forgive me, because you were so close but I couldn't come save you." This makes the girl even more emotional, and she cries even harder. In the next scene, we see that Albert has also arrived and learned about this laboratory. Albert says he wants to kill the owner of this place as soon as possible, but wishes they knew more about him. The Lamia apologizes, saying she wishes she could help more, but she has amnesia and can't remember anything. Lloyd says her memory is so bad she can't even remember her own name, and it's probably a side effect of the experiments performed on her. Lloyd continues, saying he thinks she used to be an adventurer. Galilea agrees, since she can use sorcery. The Lamia says even if she learns about her identity, she can't live a normal life because of what her body has become. Galilea tells her not to worry. They're from Lordest, and she can live there happily. Crow agrees and says they'll even make her a long skirt. This makes both the Lamia and Escher very happy. Lloyd wonders who exactly this guy is that's doing such experiments. The Lamia says she found this in the lab and asks if it might be useful. Lloyd sees it's a rosary that looks pretty old. The Lamia says she's not sure if this rosary belongs to that guy or not, but she knows a little about him. He always said he didn't like God and hated them. Hearing this, Lloyd examines the rosary more closely. Then Lloyd shows her the papers he found in the lab below. Seeing them scares the Lamia. Escher tells Lloyd he shouldn't show her those. Lloyd says if the Lamia wants, she can burn these papers, but they could use these same papers to turn her back into a human. Lloyd tells the Lamia that her body is made from a combination of complex mana signatures that even he can't solve, but she's someone who could help him solve this data. Still, if she wants to burn these papers, he won't stop her. But if she wants to fix her body, he wants her help. The choice is hers. The girl agrees and picks up the notes saying she'll help. Seeing this shocks Escher, and she runs away. Galilea tells the Lamia not to worry and that they'll help her. Crow agrees, but says first they should give her a name, something really cute. Lloyd suggests that since she's a Lamia, they'll call her Lami. The next scene shows Escher looking for Saria, thinking she might have returned to the castle. She finds Saria sitting there, which makes her feel relieved. She goes to Saria and apologizes, then tells Babylon that she's decided she will sing because that's the one thing she's good at. Hearing this, Saria says that's great news and they'll give an amazing performance at the Great Advent Festival. They decide they're going to sing, but a little later, Albert tells them the festival will have to be cancelled. This makes them very sad, and they say they can't cancel it. Albert apologizes and explains that after hearing Lami's story, they learned that Guy is doing all these experiments and really hates God and the church, so he might do something during the festival. Silpha says they understand he doesn't like Escher's singing, but the issue is what exactly he wants to do. He's built this dangerous laboratory, which means he definitely wants to do something, making it very risky to hold the festival right now. Talia thinks he wants to kill the head of the church, the Pope. Albert says this means they'll have to cancel the festival, but how can he announce this? If they cancel, they'll face serious backlash. Silpha says they also need to learn about that rosary Lami found. Where did it go? They see that Katerina had put the rosary on Shiro. Silpha starts pulling at the rosary, saying it might belong to that guy, and if so, things could be more dangerous than they've imagined. Babylon mentions he also saw a rosary on that guy, but it was brand new. It seems like the one they have might be his lost one, so he had to get a new one made. Silpha points out that most rosaries are made of silver, but the one they found is solid gold. Father arrives and tells everyone that only 12 people can wear these gold rosaries, including the Pope. These people are called the 12 bishops, and they oversee the central church. Hearing this, Ren realizes this means whoever this evil person is must be one of these bishops. Father says that can't be possible. All the bishops are very holy people. Why would they do such a thing? And that guy doesn't even look like one. Silpha points out that according to Babylon, that guy can change his appearance, so he could very well be one of the 12 bishops. Father says it's also possible that guy stole this rosary from another bishop. Whatever the case, he absolutely doesn't believe any of the 12 bishops is evil. Babylon remembers that when that guy used divine sorcery to attack, he didn't perform any ritual. Unlike Escher, who has to sing as a ritual to use divine sorcery, if that guy didn't need to perform any ritual, it means he's already mastered using divine sorcery without rituals. Babylon explains that Prince Lloyd gave them divine sorcery, so they take it for granted. But normally you need to perform a ritual to use divine sorcery, like how Escher sings. This makes using divine sorcery somewhat complicated. Father says this confirms that anyone who can use divine sorcery without rituals must be someone who's mastered it, one of those 12 bishops. Everyone starts thinking about this seriously. Mtao shows up with a chess set, asking if anyone wants to play. Katerina says she will. Meanwhile, Grimm asks Zirial if everything that's been discussed is true. Zirial explains that he didn't give that bishop his power directly. He only gave access to the Pope, whose name is Gutani. The other 11 people got access because Gutani trusts them, so they also became able to use divine sorcery. It's just like how he gave Lloyd permission, and Lloyd got access for all his companions. Albert says the church has rejected everything Babylon told them, so he doesn't think they'll cancel the festival, even if they report this. Most importantly, If the enemy has really infiltrated the central church, the Pope's life will be in danger, whether the festival is cancelled or not. Silfa agrees, and points out that there's very little time left before the festival. If that guy is one of the 12 bishops, they'll have to keep the Pope away from all the bishops during the festival while keeping an eye on them. They can pretend they're providing security to protect the Pope from getting killed. Albert says that's probably their only option right now, and he'll help however he can. But given the situation, they can't get help from the Adventure Guild, so they can only rely on the people present here. If anyone notices anything suspicious about any bishop, they should detain that bishop. They have to safely finish this festival no matter what. Everyone agrees. The next scene shows us the church, where a nun is carrying a letter. The same nun lady we saw with the Pope before appears. Her name is Anastasia. She asks the nun where she's taking the letter. The nun explains it's a message from the second prince, Albert, and she's taking it to the Pope. Anastasia asks for the letter and snatches it away. She reads it and becomes very happy. Then she goes into a room and down to an underground base. We learn this base belongs to that same guy who's still doing experiments here. Anastasia shows that guy the letter Albert sent to the Pope. She explains that Albert wrote that he wants to inspect the church's facilities and needs the Pope and all bishops in separate groups. Hearing this, the guy says it seems they got information from that Lamia. Anastasia agrees and says it looks like the second prince destroyed that underground facility, but from the letter, it doesn't seem like Albert got complete information. However, the guy doesn't pay much attention to all this and continues his experiment. He reveals he has the Civil War's body, the same monster Lloyd fought, and only the hand is left, which he managed to get. In reality, that hand got separated from the monster's body because of Lloyd's attack. Looking at it, the guy says it seems this Civil War faced someone it couldn't even fight against, and whoever did this is incredibly powerful. Saying this, he eats the Civil War's hand with his own hand. The guy continues, saying that even if the second prince found out about them, he can't do anything. If he thinks destroying one small branch of his lab means he's won, that's a misunderstanding. Even if he figures out what he's planning to do, he still can't ruin anything. After this, we're shown even more powerful monsters, just like that Civil War monster, including a huge dragon. The guy laughs and says no one can stop them, and they'll reveal themselves at the Great Advent Festival. On the other side, Lloyd says the exact same thing. Today is the Great Advent Festival, the day when everyone comes together. All the bishops gather here too, and Lloyd's team arrives to guard them. On the other side, we see Pop and the other bishops. Then we learn that Pop's name is Gutane. Gutane says that since today is the Great Advent Festival, they'll try to make sure it goes smoothly. Silfa says yes, but it's really weird because it's raining today. Gutane responds that maybe it's his fault wherever he goes it starts raining. Silfa apologizes, saying that because of the rain, they won't be able to do a welcome parade for him. Everything else will stay the same as he was told. All the bishops will be kept in separate areas and her team will guard them. After hearing, this one bishop gets angry. His name is Ganmo. Ganmo asks why Gutane is being separated from them. Gutane tells him, it's okay, this is Albert's plan. Albert wants them to stay safe, because whoever attacked the cathedral might attack again today. That's why Albert wants to separate them like this, so he can keep Gutane and everyone else safe. Hearing this, Tao says they can't tell them the whole truth. They're separating everyone so they can figure out who the real monster is, which one of them is the enemy. That person can change their appearance, and he's definitely one of these bishops. Silfa tells Gutane they're doing everything to keep him safe, and now they should move forward. After hearing Silfa, Gutane gets into the carriage to leave. Then Silfa goes to Anastasia and says she'll guard her. Anastasia says okay. A bishop was watching all this and gets angry. He says he doesn't like any of this at all. He doesn't need any guard. If anyone attacks him, he'll handle it himself. Hearing this, another bishop companion tells him not to talk too much. His name is Dante. This makes the first bishop even angrier, and they start fighting with each other. We learn that Ren will guard Dante today, along with a bishop named Yataro. Dante agrees and leaves. Meanwhile, a bishop named Melissa takes the angry bishop away and brings him to Crow, because Crow will be guarding both of them today. On the other side, we see Tao praying that whoever she guards will be a hot guy. But she finds out that both bishops she's guarding are bald, which shocks her completely. She starts taking them with her. On another side, a bishop comes up to Babylon and asks if he's the guy who was attacked at the cathedral. Then a bishop named Thor arrives and asks Babylon how he dares make such accusations. How can he say that the enemy is one of the bishops? Hearing this, his companion calms him down and asks Babylon if they found any evidence about the attacker. Babylon says no, and after that they get in the carriage. We see Talia and Galilea, who are both about to guard two bishops. After this, everyone gets in carriages and heads to where the festival will take place. We see that lots of people have come to watch the festival. Albert comes to his father, the king, and tells him that Pop is coming. Hearing this, the king says he'll be meeting Gutane after a long time. Albert asks if he's known him for a long time. The king says yes, he's known him for a long time. Even before becoming king, he knew Gutane. Hearing this, Albert thinks that if the attacker is really one of the bishops, then separating all the bishops like this is the best option. This way, the enemy can't easily attack Gutani. Just then, a guard comes and tells Albert that Pop has arrived. They go to meet Gutani, and the king gets really happy to see him. We see Gutani and the king talking like friends. Watching them talk, Albert says it would be better if they came inside to talk. They come inside and sit down. Albert feels really nervous. He says that since this is a cathedral, weapons aren't allowed here, so security is pretty low. Albert remembers, showing his father a photo of that enemy and asking if he knew him. Albert says this enemy does face shifting, meaning he changes his face. But still, does this photo remind you of anything? The king says no. The king says he understands the situation, but they can't cancel the festival because it's too late now. Whatever investigation Albert needs to do, he should do it after the festival ends. Until then, he should prepare the security for during the festival. If anything happens, the king trusts that Albert will handle things. Albert thinks he just hopes nothing happens, and everything goes well, and the festival goes smoothly. After this, we see Silpha wearing church clothes. Seeing her, some people start asking who she is. Seeing this, Anastasia comes to Silpha and says she's getting even more attention than her. Seeing this, Silpha thinks that if Anastasia is working with that enemy, it would be really bad. In reality, Anastasia is actually working with that enemy. Here we're shown a past scene where Anastasia had told Silpha to put on different clothes. Since she was going to stay with her today, she should dress like a sister. Silpha was refusing, but then Anastasia lifts up Silpha's skirt. We find out that Silpha had a sword strapped to her legs. Anastasia tells her she knows this sword is for her protection, but she can't bring the sword inside like this. Saying this, she takes the sword from her. Remembering all this now, Silpha says that Anastasia is as sharp as she thought. She serves Gutane directly and is very close to him. She just hopes Anastasia isn't the enemy. Anastasia can feel Silpha's dangerous presence and thinks that all the bishops have one guard each, while she has one guard too. This means Silpha must suspect her, but it doesn't matter, she doesn't need to do anything. Suddenly we see the ground starting to shake really hard. Everyone gets confused, they think the festival is starting, but Albert realizes this isn't a performance, it's an enemy attack. Suddenly we see that same huge dragon coming out from behind the cathedral. The dragon is massive and roars loudly. Hearing this, Albert asks what that was. The whole place starts shaking violently and everyone gets scared. People start asking what's happening. But then Gutani says, the gates of hell are opening. Friends, you probably figured out who the real enemy is. Pop himself is the enemy. Gutani tells the king he was hoping he could sit down and watch this show, so he could see the whole spectacle properly. After this, we're shown a past scene, where Gutani was sitting sadly in his room. Two bishops come and say sorry for coming at such a bad time, but they've decided to make him a candidate for the next Pop. Will he do a ritual to become Pop? Gutani agrees. After this, the ritual scene is shown where all the bishops tell Gutani they'll attack him with divine sorcery. If he can endure it, it will prove there's no evil in his heart, and he's worthy of becoming Pop. After this, they attack him with divine sorcery, but nothing happens to him. Seeing this, everyone gets amazed. Gutani says there's no shadow in his soul. Hearing this, everyone praises him and says he's amazing. Saying this, they make him Pop. Someone was secretly watching all this. On the other side, Gutani thinks that everyone is wrong. They think there's nothing bad inside him. But after this ritual was performed, one thing became clear to him. There's such evil inside him that even God can't see it. There's no way to fix this evil. The scene comes back to the present where Gutani tells the king that his faith in darkness is as strong as the darkness itself. The earthquakes were happening because of that dragon. Seeing this, Gutani tells the king his plan was to send Kim Mirage here, but Albert destroyed his old facility, so he couldn't send them. But it doesn't matter, his army will destroy this whole country really well. After this, we're shown the town scene where there's a huge hole and lots of Kim Mirage come out of it and start attacking people. After hearing all this, Albert comes forward to save the king and says this is really bad. The person they've been protecting all this time is our enemy. We need to save father. Gutane tells Albert he'll kill him now because he's going to be the next king. And honestly, he's going to kill everyone who believes in God. This nation's laws are also made based on God's teachings like, don't kill anyone, don't deceive anyone. People take all these things for granted, and that's really wrong. Only the desire to do any work should be pure. When we see Zirial arrive, Gutani recognizes him and says this is the first time they're meeting Angel. He did so much. Still, his boss, God, isn't coming to Earth. He thought he would cause so much destruction that God himself would have to come stop him. Seeing this, Zirial asks what he's doing. He thinks he'll have to judge him himself. Albert also sees Zirial and says, is this really the angel who gives people divine sorcery? Maybe he can ask for help. But how can he save all the people here? and farther together Gutane uses his power to grab both Albert and the king. He transforms his body and brings out some blades. Seeing this, everyone gets amazed and starts saying, "Is this a monster?" After this, the king tells Gutane that when Albert showed him his photo, he remembered that's how he looked when he was young. Then he remembered that if his son was alive, he would look like this. "Did you change so much because of your son's death?" Hearing this, Gutane asks if he's sure these are the last words he wants to say. Saying this, he starts squeezing the king really hard. Seeing this, everyone gets scared. The king tells Zirial to leave him and save Albert. Tell both his children that he won't be able to see the recital. Hearing this, Albert tells his father not to worry about him. Saying this, he tells Zirial to save his father. On the other side, we see that Zirial himself is quite scared. He thinks, what should he do now? Gutane tells them not to worry. He'll send the whole royal family to the sky, meaning to heaven. Go there and listen to the performance. Saying this, Gutane thinks, why did the king say he has 2 sons? Then Gutane realizes something. Just then Lloyd arrives, who snaps his fingers and teleports Albert and the king away, along with all the people who were in danger. Seeing this, Gutane gets really shocked and thinks, what just happened? After this, Zirial also tells Gutane that his boss has come here, which is why he left heaven and came here. Saying this, he steps aside. We see Lloyd slowly coming forward. Gutane also gets excited and realizes how powerful Lloyd is. He remembers that once Lloyd suddenly appeared in front of him, but Gutane didn't pay attention at that time. Gutane tells Lloyd he didn't think he would come between them. Being human, he can never go to God's place, so he caused so much destruction, so God himself would come here. He was waiting to go to God, and now he's really happy. Now he'll kill him and reach God. But an angel serves him, so he thinks he's God. By killing him, he'll die peacefully because he'll have met God. Lloyd says he's not God, he's just a 7th prince. In the next scene, we find out that Lloyd teleported everyone who was in the church to the castle. Seeing this, everyone gets amazed about how this happened. Diane also starts saying, what's this destruction happening here? Is this all related to him? Albert says yes, everything is connected. He needs his help. After this, Albert comes to his father and says the enemy can change his appearance, so he thinks the enemy is just disguising himself as Gutane. The king also says, yes, that's possible. Prepare all the castle soldiers and save our citizens as quickly as possible. Then Gutane is shown again, who can sense Lloyd's mana. He realizes that Lloyd is compressing a lot of his mana, but still a lot of it is leaking out. Gutane says he's doing the same thing. On the other side, Grim comes and tells Lloyd that Saria and Escher are safe. Lloyd says, okay, you both go, save the city people while I fight this Gutane. Hearing this, Zirial tells him he can't fight alone, let him fight too. Lloyd says he also knows he can't defeat him. Hearing this, Grim also gets scared. He remembers that in the past he had asked Lloyd, if Gutane is so powerful, why don't you detect Gutane's mana and teleport directly to him? Lloyd said he can't do that because he met him for a short time, and he also has a lot of mana, which is why he also has to compress his mana. The scene comes back to the present. Grim says this Gutane is compressing his mana and he's sure he's as powerful as the Demon Lord. Grim tells Lloyd if he's crazy. He hasn't even put up a barrier and he'll fight him alone. He knows he just wants to see his attacks on himself so he can experiment with them. Lloyd says, okay, he won't do that now, go away. Grim asks if he promises. Lloyd says yes, okay. Then, Grim has to listen to Lloyd and starts leaving with Zirial. But now Gutane isn't letting them leave. He starts attacking them with divine sorcery to stop them. But then we see that Lloyd also prepares a really dangerous magic to stop Gutane's attack. Lloyd makes a huge explosion there. Even Gutane can barely stop so much power. Seeing Lloyd's strength, Gutane gets really amazed because he sees that Lloyd is attacking him with just one finger. We see that Lloyd's attack is so powerful that it tears through Gutane's 3 shields. Gutane has to transform his body so he can stop Lloyd's attack. He manages to stop Lloyd's attack, but suddenly, Lloyd teleports right behind him and kicks him in the face. Like this, Lloyd keeps kicking him continuously. Lloyd isn't giving Gutane any chance to do anything. After kicking him a lot, Lloyd uses divine sorcery again and brings out lots of thorns from the ground that pierce into Gutane's body. These thorns are so big that Gutane breaks the whole church and comes outside. Seeing Lloyd's power, both Grim and Zirial get really amazed. We see that Lloyd was standing on Gutane's body. Lloyd sees that the dragon has caused a lot of destruction in the city. Seeing this, Lloyd was already quite angry, but now he gets even angrier and says he has a lot of things to talk about with him. Lloyd remembers how, because of Gutane, that civil war had to suffer so much pain, and how Gutane also badly hurt Babylon. Because of this, Lloyd is now angry. Lloyd says he wanted to ask him something, but before that he wants to tell him something, and that is that he's crossed all limits. He's crossed the line that he shouldn't have crossed. After hearing Lloyd's threat, Gutani also gets really excited. Chimera's crawling out of the ground and attacking all the citizens. Everyone starts running away in panic, but then a young boy trips and falls down. A chimera picks up a horse-drawn carriage and is about to throw it at the kid. That's when Galilea shows up and uses his web powers to stop the carriage from crushing the boy. After that, Galilea and his team head off to fight these chimeras. The bishops are with them too. When they see these creatures, they're completely shocked and ask, "What are these things?" Talia turns to Galilea and says, "It looks like this is starting, and it's even worse than they thought it would be." But Galilea responds that it's not worse than expected. Lloyd knew this would happen. He pulls out his weapon and gets ready to fight. The scene flashes back to a few days earlier. Lloyd had asked Saria if he could participate in the recital and sing in the church. Everyone was surprised by this request. Albert tells Lloyd this is a really weird time to ask for something like that. He asks Lloyd why this suddenly came to his mind when they're supposed to be planning how to save the Pope. Lloyd says they should keep planning without him since he's just a kid and wouldn't be much help anyway. Everyone who knows how powerful Lloyd really is gets shocked by this comment. Albert agrees with Lloyd and says it would be better for him to stay inside the cathedral where he'll be safe. Escher gets excited and says she wants to sing with Lloyd too. They head off to practice together. Grim comes up to Lloyd and asks what's gotten into him all of a sudden. Why does he want to sing? Lloyd explains that he thinks the Pope is actually the enemy they've been looking for. Everyone gets surprised and asks why he thinks that. Lloyd says the answer is pretty simple. The Pope is the only person who has enough free time, money, and resources to build a lab like that. Galilea says that doesn't make any sense as reasoning. Lloyd says regardless of what they think, that's his gut feeling. He'll wait at the cathedral during the Great Festival for things to start happening. He tells everyone to get some rest while they can then starts to leave. But Saria grabs him and says they should practice the recital together. Lloyd realizes he's stuck and will have to practice even though he doesn't want to. Back in the present, Galilea says Lloyd can handle whoever released all these chimeras. Their job is just to protect the city. The next scene shows us back at the church where Lloyd has Gutane pinned down completely. Gutane asks how Lloyd can possibly be such a small prince. He uses his blade to break free from Lloyd's divine sorcery attack. Jiriel is amazed that Gutane managed to escape Lloyd's divine magic like that. Grim says he's more surprised that Gutane is still alive at all. He tells Jiriel they need to hurry and take out the chimeras in town so they can get back and help Lloyd. Jiriel asks if Grim is sure about that. Lloyd seems really angry and powerful, so does he really need their help? Grim explains that Lloyd being angry is exactly why it's a problem. Lloyd is furious about the Civil War situation and what Gutane did to Babylon. That's why they need to finish off the chimeras quickly and get back to help. Gutane tells Lloyd that his attack made one thing clear. He doesn't need to worry about Jiriel or the king anymore. He's figured out that Lloyd is the god he's been looking for, and once he kills Lloyd, he'll finally reach the abyss. Lloyd says if that's what Gutane thinks, then fine, but he's wrong. Still, if Gutane wants to fight, then bring it on. Lloyd takes his hands out of his pockets and gets ready to battle. The next scene shows Crow using his crows to send messages to everyone. The message tells them that the Pope is the enemy they were searching for. Ren says this means the other. Bishops are probably innocent, though some might be working with the Pope. She's suspicious of Archbishop Dante because he has a lot of stitches on his face. While she's thinking about this, a chimera sneaks up behind her to attack. But the bishop with glasses shows up and uses his power to save Ren. She thanks him for the rescue. We find out this bishop is pretty perverted though. He tells Ren she's very cute. This makes Ren angry and she punches him in the face, but the bishop gets even happier and says he'll never wash his cheek again. Back at the church, Anastasia suddenly attacks Silpha. Everyone watching is shocked and asks what she's doing. Silpha dodges the attack. Anastasia says she was planning to kill Silpha while everyone was busy. Silpha reminds her that weapons aren't allowed inside the cathedral. Anastasia says that's why she'll resign after this. Silpha realizes her suspicions were right. Anastasia is working with the enemy. The scene switches back to Galilea's team. A demon-like figure appears and starts using fire spells. He introduces himself as Grimoire from the Forbidden Tome. He says bishops are shocked and ask how this is possible. Talia asks who this is. An old bishop explains in amazement that Grimoire is the legendary demon who brought total destruction to the Solomon Kingdom, but he was sealed away a long time ago. How did the seal break? Talia and Galilea remember that the real Grim is actually Grimoire. The fake Grimoire says he's here for revenge because this kingdom sealed him away. We see Crow and the angry bishop, who are intentionally leading chimeras away so the other citizens can escape safely. The bishop asks Crow what they should do. Next, Crow says he's worried about the church. The bishop tells him not to worry because Melissa is at the church and she handles everything well there. Crow notices his messenger crows are acting strange, so he climbs up a building to see what's happening. The bishop is amazed at how quickly Crow got up there and follows him. The bishop tells Crow not to act weird or he won't trust him either. Suddenly they see a double S-rank dragon in front of them, causing massive destruction. The bishop gets scared and asks Crow what this thing is and what they should do, but when he looks to the side, Crow isn't there anymore. The bishop is shocked to see that Crow has gone straight toward the dragon to fight it. He's amazed that Crow is going to battle such a monster without any fear. The bishop realizes what he needs to do, pulls out his weapon and says he'll fight. 2. Become an amazing bishop. He rushes off to help Crow. Next scene shows the twin bishops who look exactly alike. They're shocked to see Tao fighting an incredibly powerful female chimera. The chimera grabs Tao and slams her into the ground, then sits on top of her bragging about her Rakuken technique and claiming she killed Tao with one hit. We learn this chimera's name is Chakra, and she's A rank. Seeing Chakra's attack, both bishops are amazed. They ask Tao if she's okay. Chakra says Tao won't answer because her Rakuken kills people in one shot. She asks why the two bishops have the same face because it's irritating her. She decides to kill them both at once, but then we discover Tao isn't dead. She stands up. Chakra is shocked and asks how Tao got up when she should be dead by now with her head split open. Chakra notices that one of her own arms is now broken. Tao explains she saved herself from the fall at the last second. When Chakra's arm came near her, she grabbed it and used it like a cushion. Chakra says she thought Tao was dead. Her life was flashing before her eyes. Tao says that was happening, and because of it, she remembered something about Chakra's technique, Rakuken, falling flower fist. It's from the phantom style of martial arts that disappeared in just one generation. Tao realizes that Chakra, who invented the Rakuken, form is the one inside this chimera body. Chakra gets angry because Tao figured it out completely. Chakra explains that after getting this body, her Rakuken became perfect. The 6 eyes gave her superhuman reflexes, and now she has 6 arms too, making her grappling technique even more amazing. She can become even stronger now. Tao asks why Chakra wants to become so powerful. Tao explains that she used to train with punches until tears came to her eyes. He asks Chakra what she thinks. Did Tao do this for someone else? No, she did it because she wanted to become popular. She tells Chakra to look at herself and ask why she's doing this. She's even given up her humanity. Tao says she'll never lose to Chakra. She lets down her hair and gets ready to use her amazing technique. Seeing Tao's fighting stance, Chakra realizes Tao is about to use the 100 flower fist. Chakra says she should thank God that she gets to fight against such a technique again. Yet a flashback showing Chakra's past, where Chakra was actually a young man. Warrior defeats him and tells him that if he fails 100 times, he should try 1,000,000 times more. Shouldn't let one small defeat discourage him. Remembering these words, Chakra says the warrior's advice was illogical, so instead of staying human, chose to become a chimera to get this superhuman body. And Tao says Chakra threw away his humanity like that. Chakra thinks this girl can never understand because she's lived so few years. Chakra sees that Tao is ready to attack and thinks Tao is being foolish. Chakra plans to finish Tao the moment she attacks. We see Tao building up incredible pressure, putting all her energy into this attack. Tao moves incredibly fast and gets close to Chakra instantly. Chakra thought she could block Tao's attack, but she can't, because her vision starts getting dark. She remembers her past, where Chakra had begged many people to learn his technique so it wouldn't disappear forever, but no one wanted to learn it, which made Chakra extremely frustrated because he had worked so hard but got no results. His school didn't want him because he lost to that warrior, and that single defeat ruined his life. He ended up jumping off a mountain and dying. After death, his spirit came out and all he wanted was strength. That's when Gitane appeared and offered him an amazing body. While these memories flash through Chakra's mind, Tao's attack lands and completely changes Chakra's face. Tao is so powerful that she crushes Chakra's face completely. The bishops are amazed, saying Tao's victory wasn't easy because she's also a powerful bishop. Only they could see that Chakra was attacking Tao multiple times, but Tao kept blocking those attacks. Even now, Chakra's hands are still holding on to Tao and causing her pain. But despite all that pain, Tao doesn't give up and wins the fight. Seeing Tao's incredible dedication, the bishops get emotional too. Chakra asks how her Rakuken power was. The bishops see that Chakra is still alive, so they're about to use their purification power to finish her off. But Tao stops them and sits down next to Chakra. She says she saw Chakra's technique. Chakra is still holding on to her, so Chakra won. Chakra's grappling is very powerful, and she never gave up. Tao says Chakra is truly human and quite handsome too. Hearing this, Chakra starts crying and lets go of Tao. Since Chakra's body has found peace, she starts disappearing before dying. Chakra says that in the end, all she wanted was for someone to recognize her achievements. Since Tao has now recognized those achievements, Chakra can finally disappear in peace. The next scene shows Grimoire using his power, which shocks everyone. Galilea tells the two bishops to go protect the church, so they leave. Galilea tells Talia to help him. He'll create an opening and then trap Grimoire with his webs. Grimoire asks if they think they can stop him because he's the great Grimoire. Talia gets angry and tells him to shut up, saying they know he's just a fake. But Galilea tells Talia that maybe their Grim isn't the fake one. Talia asks how that's possible, because their Grim brings them delicious food and is really cute. Remembering this, they say their Grim is very cute, so maybe the Grimoire in front of them is the real one. Grimoire confirms that yes, he is the real Grimoire. Just as Grimoire is about to use his power, a small boy appears and kicks Grimoire's head clean off his body. After the head comes off, the spirit also comes out of that body. The spirit looks at the boy and asks who he is, wondering if he could be that person. The spirit starts getting embarrassed. We see this boy looks somewhat like Lloyd and even has horns. The boy uses his incredibly dangerous power, which destroys all the chimeras at once, along with the fake Grimoire's body. The boy looks at the spirit and says, "There's no demon here at all." He hands the spirit over to Galilea and tells them to purify it. He also tells Galilea to close all the holes that have opened around the town. After saying this, the boy flies away. Talia asks the spirit who he really is. The spirit explains he was actually a sorcerer who studied ancient magic when he was alive, and that's how he became a fan of Grimoire. Hearing this, Talia purifies him. Galilea and Talia look at the boy who looked like Lloyd and wonder if it could be him. Galilea says it's possible. We then see that same figure flying through the air, with Lloyd and Gatain still fighting each other. They're both giving each other a real good fight now. As they keep battling, they end up flying all the way up into the clouds. After fighting for a while, Gatain backs away a bit and tells Lloyd, "You're pretty amazing. I don't think I've really seen your full potential yet." Lloyd responds, "I feel the same way. Show me your real power too." Gatain grins and says, "I've got plenty of advantages when it comes to fighting you because I have so many different options." After saying this, Gatain pulls out tons of weapons to fight Lloyd with. Seeing all this, Lloyd gets super excited. In the next scene, we see a powerful pig attacking the city. Yet a really strong pig, and the same bishop whose Babylon was protecting is fighting it. The bishop tries to use his power to cut off the pig's head, but it just won't come off. That's when another bishop and Babylon show up to help. They all attack together and manage to cut off the pig's head. But they're still scared because they know this pig keeps regenerating over and over again. And sure enough, that's exactly what happens. The pig regenerates once more. They've cut this pig up so many times, but it keeps coming back. Seeing this, they all start going over what they've learned. First, this pig is immortal. It can't die. Even if you crush its head or destroy its heart, it'll just regenerate somehow. And every time it regenerates, it comes back even stronger. We find out this pig's name is Megameat, and it's triple S rank. Megameat starts telling them, "Even my master doesn't know who I really am." Hearing this, Babylon gets confused and wonders if Gatain didn't actually create this chimera. While Babylon is thinking about this, the pig suddenly punches him hard, sending him crashing through several houses and injuring him badly. Megameat rushes over to Babylon to finish him off. The bishops try to help Babylon, but it's not enough. That's when Babylon stops the pig and says, "Before you kill me, tell me one thing. Why do you hate humans so much?" The pig asks, "Do you want to know my history?" The bishops jump in and say, "Yeah, we're bishops. This is our job. We guide lost souls." The pig says, "All right, if that's the case, let's see how you guide me." Then he begins his story. It all started a few years ago. I was created by an alchemist. We get a flashback showing how an alchemist named Ouroboros created Megameat through lots of experiments. We learn that no matter how many times you eat this Megameat, it gives you infinite pork. So the alchemist kept cutting Megameat, and it would keep growing back, giving him endless free meat. But Megameat hated having to endure all that pain. Ouroboros would pet him and say, "You're amazing. You're going to save the world from hunger." Hearing this, Megameat felt happy that he could do something good and make everyone happy. But after some time, Megameat's meat started tasting bitter and bad. Ouroboros said it wasn't good to eat anymore. This made Megameat furious, and he burned down Ouroboros' entire house and left. After that, Megameat went to many humans to share his meat with them, but nobody liked how it tasted. This made him really sad. He realized his taste had gone bad. He said, "I was made to be eaten, but now I'm so worthless that even flies won't come near me." Megameat continued, "When I was at my saddest, that's when I met my master." In the next scene, we see Gatain tasting Megameat's meat. After tasting it, he compliments it saying, This is actually pretty tasty. Then he tells Megameat, you shouldn't use this power of yours to help humans. This is a weapon. You should use it against those people who treated you like garbage. Are you really going to let those arrogant people get away with it? This is how Megameat got caught up in Gitane's words and turned bad. After hearing all this, the bishops start wondering what they're dealing with. Then the pig says, now I'm going to get revenge on all those people who said I wasn't tasty. Hearing this, Babylon tells him, my life was just like yours. Back in the day, I thought I was going to die. I had to wander through forests looking for food. I didn't have money to buy anything. I loved cooking, but I didn't have any ingredients. If I had met you back then, I would have hugged you tight. Hearing this, Megameat gets a little happy, but then he controls himself and tells Babylon, don't be stupid. You're only saying this because you don't know how terrible I taste. Babylon then grabs his hand and promises, I swear I'll turn you into the tastiest food that the whole world will love. Megameat agrees, and they head to a restaurant to cook. The bishops are super confused, wondering what's going on, looking at Megameat's meat. They notice a purple aura coming from it, and wonder how this could possibly be made tasty. They're also scared, because they'll have to be the first ones to taste whatever gets cooked. Megameat thinks to himself, I don't know what you're thinking, but you'll soon find out that my meat is complete garbage. It can't be cooked. The meat is really hard, so Babylon treats it with a completely different approach. He just gently pets the meat, and it becomes soft. Megameat gets so happy with Babylon that he jumps up and mixes himself with the other ingredients ready to be cooked. Everyone's amazed at how this is happening. When Babylon is about to fry the meat, Megameat thinks, I don't know how you made my meat soft, but that's as far as you'll get. In the past, a chef tried to fry me the same way, but the smell was so awful, it filled the entire restaurant with stench. But we see that when Babylon cooks the meat, it turns out perfectly fresh without any bad smell. Everyone's shocked again. Now the bishops have to try this dish. It looks really tasty to them, but they're nervous. They don't know how long their stomachs will be messed up after eating this. Megameat tells them if you can eat this meat without throwing up, I won't take revenge on humans. They're about to try it thinking they'll just swallow it quickly because they're so scared. But Babylon tells them, don't be afraid. Chew it slowly and enjoy it. So they do exactly that. They chew the meat slowly and it tastes so good that they start remembering their childhood days when they used to enjoy things. They say it's really tasty. Megameat is shocked and says, that can't be possible. You're lying. But they insist they're not lying. It really is delicious. Megameat asks Babylon in amazement, what did you do? Babylon explains nothing special. When I was about to cook this meat, I used divine sorcery to fix it. The bishops are amazed by his divine sorcery skills. Babylon says it's not that amazing. He just used a little light magic. He tells Megameat, this shows you're a good person. You dedicated your existence to helping everyone, but because you were sad, your taste kept getting worse. With just a little divine sorcery, it became delicious. This shows you're kind and gentle. You can live however you want, but remember that humans love you. The smell of the food reaches everyone in the area, so Babylon invites them all to try it. Everyone loves the meat, which makes Megameat incredibly happy. After everyone finishes eating and leaves, one of the bishops turns a bit evil. He says he'll use this meat to solve everyone's hunger problems. He tells Babylon to let him take care of the pig. Suddenly, Megameat appears and tells Babylon, I want you to purify me, basically, end my existence. The bishop is shocked. He explains, I know you regenerate because of the anger and hatred inside you. If we purify you, you'll become a normal pig. You won't regenerate anymore. Megameat says, yeah, I know I won't have the power to live forever anymore. I'll only be eaten once, but I want people to eat me when I taste good to them. So Babylon, I want you to cook and eat me. Babylon agrees and starts purifying him. Before being purified, Megameat remembers his master Gitane and also Ouroboros. He says, forgive me, but I want to live for others' good. Forgive me. I won't be able to solve the world's hunger problem, but I'll become food for the one person who truly understands me. Babylon. We see all the evil leaving Megameat as he becomes a normal pig, ready to jump into the fire to cook himself. But Babylon gets emotional and stops him, saying, no, I can't eat you. You'll stay with me. In the next scene, we see Bishop Anastasia fighting Silpha. Silpha, who doesn't have a sword, is fighting with just a candlestick, but she's still giving Anastasia a good fight, even though Anastasia is using divine sorcery. Impressed, Anastasia tells Silpha, you're pretty amazing. Silpha asks, just to confirm, are you the mysterious poster we're looking for? Anastasia replies, no, that's my master. My master is way beyond me, Silpha says. Even though you're a bishop, your swordsmanship is incredible. You praise your master so much, I'm getting really curious about them. Anastasia responds, I could say the same about you. When you became an A-rank adventurer, you immediately left the guild. Why did you choose to become a maid? Silpha gets embarrassed and says, I quit adventuring because I found someone. She's talking about Lloyd. Anastasia says, That means neither of us can lose because we both serve our masters. After saying this, Anastasia starts using much more powerful divine sorcery. Silpha suddenly has to fight multiple shadows at once. She can't block all these attacks and gets hit, tearing some of her clothes. We see that Silpha has been wearing a necklace-like item. She uses this to become much more powerful and starts fighting much better. Anastasia is impressed and says, Silpha, you're incredible. You serve your master so beautifully, but I'm worthless. We get a bit of Anastasia's past where we see she was very poor and hungry. Anastasia remembers her master Gitane telling her, I don't hate you. If you still want to go back, this is your chance. But Anastasia has decided she won't back down. She says, Master Gitane, I'll stay on your side even if you don't want me to. After saying this, she goes to finish off Silpha. But then we see Silpha use that necklace item to create a divine sorcery sword. Anastasia had no idea this was possible. And Silpha attacks her, injuring her so badly that she can't move. They both fall back into the church. We see that using divine sorcery has exhausted Silpha. Meanwhile, Anastasia is in shock. She asks Silpha, Why didn't you kill me? I didn't know you could use divine sorcery too. Silpha explains, This is a gift from my master. We get a flashback where Lloyd gave Silpha this glass orb, telling her she could use divine sorcery with it. Silpha was nervous, saying she didn't know if she could use it properly. Lloyd told her, I know you'll be fine without it, but use it if you need to. As Lloyd was about to leave, Silpha stopped him to say thanks. Back in the present, Silpha tells Anastasia, My master is smart, amazing, and cute too. Whenever I scold him, he makes this adorable face. I know he hides lots of secrets from me, but I'll wait for the time when he shares those secrets with me. Silpha tries to stand but can't because she's too exhausted. After hearing everything Silpha said, Anastasia admits, I don't have the courage to scold my master at all. Even though I think he wants someone to stop him, I can't do it. My voice won't reach my master. His heart has been closed since that day. All I can do is serve him. Anastasia starts crying. Hearing all this, Silpha says, I'm just a maid, so I can't judge anyone. But I hope your master hears your voice. I just hope that by the end of this battle, your master hears someone's voice. The other side, we see Saria and Escher riding on Shiro heading this way, and saw Escher and Saria heading toward the church. Now they've reached the rooftop where there's a piano sitting. They land there and Saria thanks Shiro for bringing them here. She says, Thanks, Shintaro, for bringing us here. Saria gets his name wrong because she's terrible at remembering names. After that, they look down and see the city is totally destroyed. Seeing this mess, Saria pulls the cover off the piano and gets ready to save the city. Meanwhile, we see that same dragon in the city that Crow was sent to fight. But now Crow is in really bad shape. He's bleeding heavily. The bishop there is desperately trying to save Crow, telling him, You're in terrible condition. Don't try to use your power again. But then they see the dragon about to crush a small child. The bishop runs to save the kid, and seeing this, Crow struggles to stand up. He's used his speech power so much that blood is coming from his mouth, but he uses what little strength he has left to tell the dragon to stop. The dragon actually stops, and the bishop safely gets the child away. But when the bishop sees what using that power did to Crow, he starts crying because Crow can't even speak anymore. His condition has gotten even worse. On another part of the battlefield, we see Ren fighting alone, while Dante, who's also a bishop, is just standing there smoking. Ren asks, Aren't you going to help me? But Dante ignores her. This makes Ren suspicious. She starts wondering if Dante has switched sides and joined the enemy. While she's thinking about this, that creepy bishop tells her, I wish I could help you, but your love spell has affected me. I can't move. Ren replies, You idiot, that's not love, it's poison. She grabs him and starts dragging him along. Then Dante asks Ren, Do you know who's really behind all these attacks? This confuses Ren. She thinks to herself about whether she should tell him. After hesitating, she says, Yeah, I know who's behind all this. She's about to reveal the name when the scene suddenly cuts away. Now we're shown Lloyd and Gitane up in the clouds. Gitane easily destroys Lloyd's barrier with an attack. Lloyd says, Just as I expected. Gitane's Luxa contains purification-type sorcery. That's exactly what his purification does. This purification has nothing to do with normal definitions of good and evil. The way God defines evil, this is both evil and purified at the same time. If I attack with a fireball, the purification won't affect it at all. But Gitane decides what's in front of him is evil, and then purifies it. We see that Gitane makes Lloyd's fireball disappear using this method. Lloyd gets excited and thinks I want to know what happens if his attacks hit me directly. Lloyd continues analyzing Gitane's weakness is pretty clear. First, it takes him a few seconds to change symbols and attack. Second, he can't create symbols that produce direct sorcery effects. Third, looking at his symbols, they seem to have switched to flames. Does this mean he can only use 3 types of symbols at once? The way he's transformed his body into a chimera is pretty powerful too. Now he's gotten even stronger. He's actually altering God's mana signature. That's seriously impressive. Back with the bishop, he tells the child, "Can you get to the shelter by yourself?" The kid says, "Yeah, but what about you?" He replies, "I have a lot of work to do here." "Go find your mom." The child leaves, and the bishop thinks, "I can't leave Crow here alone." The dragon starts moving toward Crow, and the bishop shouts, "What the heck are you doing, you oversized lizard? You've caused enough trouble." But the dragon doesn't listen and attacks Crow directly. The bishop jumps in to save him. After protecting Crow, he says, "You saved everyone here. Get up quickly." The Crow still can't get up. The bishop remembers how Crow kept using his power to save people even while blood was pouring from his mouth. Despite his pain, Crow looked happy that he could use his power to help others. Remembering this, the bishop starts crying. Seeing them in this pathetic state, the dragon starts laughing in a terrifying way. This makes the bishop furious. He pulls out his weapon and angrily shouts, "How dare you laugh? I'm not getting away with this." Before the bishop can do anything, the dragon attacks and knocks him down. The bishop realizes how terrible Crow's past must have been. He says, "I only knew Crow for a short time, but he's incredible. I think we're best bros." Bishop sees the dragon about to attack Crow again, so he stops it and says, "Don't touch Crow. Come fight me instead. Crow is already dead." But the dragon won't listen and keeps going after Crow. Just then, Silver and Tao arrive and attack the dragon, cutting off one of its fingers and breaking another one. Saves Crow. Tao tells the bishop, "No, Crow isn't dead yet. Can sense he's still alive." He tells the twin bald bishops to heal him, and they start working on Crow. First bishop is relieved that help has arrived for Crow. Silver apologizes to Tao. "Sorry. No, you're tired, but you still have to fight." Tao replies, "It's okay. Besides, I can sense there are no citizens around here." Crow is amazing. He got everyone to safety. Silver agrees. Yeah, Crow is truly an incredible warrior. This means the enemy we're facing is so powerful that even Crow couldn't beat it. How are we going to defeat this thing? They start planning their strategy, but suddenly the dragon prepares to fire a beam attack. Before it can fire, Tao and Silver attack its mouth, changing the direction of the beam so it hits somewhere far away instead. After stopping this attack, both Tao and Silver are terrified, realize they would have died if that beam had hit them. Tao notices her hand got injured from blocking the attack. Silver asks if she's okay, and Tao says, "Yeah, I'm fine. Stay focused and finish off this enemy, or all of Crow's sacrifice will be wasted." Twin bishops who were healing Crow realize he's actually dead. First bishop panics, understanding that this dragon can't be stopped now. Dragon starts remembering its past, how it hatched from an egg. It says, "From the moment I was born, it was clear I was born to be a slave, a servant. Human would sit on my back for my entire life. I had to act like a pet dog. Did good work. Learned that its master was none other than Gizarm." Dragon continues, "Master learned the most powerful spell, teleportation. Was proud. Was also terrified of my master. No one could stop my master." We see Gizarm telling the dragon, "I don't need this dragon anymore." After that, we see Gizarm brutally attacking the dragon, cutting it into pieces. We see Gitane arriving with Anastasia. Ton says, "I don't know how long devils have been ruling this land." Anastasia replies, "Gizarm is truly a monster." Gitane agrees. "Yeah, it looks like Gizarm is a demon lord." The dragon sees Gitane and wonders who this guy is and what he's doing in Gizarm's territory. Gitane asks Anastasia, "What do you think would happen if I attacked the demon lord with my Luxa Maxima?" Anastasia says, "I think it would cause massive damage." Gitane then asks, "Do you think I could purify the demon lord's heart?" He answers his own question. "No, no one can purify anyone's heart. You can't fix monsters' hearts. Their hearts are like stone. They abandon their own comrades." Hearing all this, the dragon realizes that Gitane will become his next master. And that's exactly what happens. Gitane takes the dragon with him and starts fixing its body. He attaches different chimera parts to its body and says, "Use this however you want to use it. I want you to use the body I've given you to find your true nature." The dragon is happy and says, "This is why I follow Gitane." It explains that more than half of its body parts have been replaced. Gitane is amazing. He talks about my true nature and wants to give me freedom. And Gitane tells it, "If you don't have anywhere to go, you can stay with me. I'm preparing an incredible grand event. After that event, I don't have any plans because I'm lost." After saying this, he leaves. Hearing all this, the dragon says, "I hope my master Gitane finds his way. As for me, I finally understand who I really am." The scene returns to the present, where we see the dragon has grown 2 more arms. It uses these arms to attack Tao and Silver. The attack hits Tao directly, and she falls unconscious. Taking advantage of this moment, the dragon tries to kill Tao, but Silver intervenes. She kicks Tao to safety and faces the dragon alone, but she's having a really hard time stopping it. The dragon easily defeats Silver and even breaks her sword. Seeing this, the dragon gets excited and says, having so much fun. Tao regains consciousness. Yul regains consciousness and gets scared seeing Silpha's condition. Meanwhile, the twin bishops have stopped trying to heal Crow since he's dead. They tell the other bishop, Bats, you're hurt. Let us heal you. But Bats refuses, saying no, save Crow. Crow is the real hero. Seeing everyone in this dangerous situation, the dragon gets happy and prepares a powerful attack. We see the dragon is about to attack the area where all the city's citizens are safely sheltered. When Tao and Bats see this, they try to stop the dragon, but can't succeed. The dragon throws them away with its attack. Silpha also can't do anything. The body can't even move anymore. The attack is about to hit the shelter with all the people inside. Seeing this, Bats panics and says, I don't care if God comes or a dragon comes. Someone, please stop this dragon. The dragon is about to release its attack on the shelter when suddenly a boy, who looks like Lloyd, appears and punches the dragon's attack, completely stopping it. The dragon gets thrown far away, and all the people in the shelter remain safe. Everyone is amazed at how this happened. Then Jiriel also arrives and tells the twin bishops, you guys did great. Now I'll heal Crow. The boy tells Jiriel, yeah, save Crow no matter what, because he's a member of our team. The boy gets angry and tells the dragon, what the hell were you trying to do? Even the dragon gets scared seeing him. Everyone asks the boy who he is. He doesn't want to reveal his real name and says, I'm just a wandering adventurer. Name is Grim Taro. This is Grim. Grim gets nervous about being in this form. He remembers that Jiriel told him to do this because if he came in his demon form, people would attack him, thinking he was the enemy. That's why he's come as a human. Remembering this, Grim feels embarrassed. Taking advantage of this moment, the dragon attacks him. We see that Grim is incredibly powerful. The punch doesn't hurt him at all. Instead, he stops the dragon's attack with just his feet. Everyone is shocked seeing this. Grim tells everyone, don't worry. We're on your side, and Crow will be fine soon. Jiriel will save him. Grim asks Tao, are there any humans left here? I mean citizens? Tao says no. Hearing this, Grim launches a powerful attack on the dragon and says, if there are no citizens here, I can fight properly. We see Grim continuously attacking the dragon, causing it serious damage. Starts rolling around everywhere. Grim sits right on the dragon's chest and says, I heard you were laughing. You're a dragon from the netherworld, right? How did you end up in the human world? It's like your master abandoned you. Hearing this, the dragon gets scared. Grim continues, I hope you know I won't show you mercy because in the netherworld, only the strong survive. You tried to cause destruction in my territory. Came here like a dog whose leash broke and started biting everyone randomly. You were even laughing. I feel like killing you right now. But I'm giving you one chance. Get lost and run back home. We see the dragon doesn't choose to run away. Instead, it attacks Grim directly. This time, it flies up to Grim and prepares to attack with its beam. Dragon thinks the demon in front of me is very kind. Despite everything that happened to me, he's telling me how to live like a dragon, giving me a chance to escape. Sorry, I can't run away. Live like a dragon and die like a dragon. Also gets ready to block its attack. See Grim unleash his dangerous power on the dragon. Grim's attack is incredibly powerful. Dragon's attack can't hurt Grim at all. Instead, Grim's attack destroys both the dragon's attack and the dragon itself. The dragon dies. It thinks, my comrades and I carried many burdens. After fighting our final battle, cleared away all our regrets. Shown a flashback where Gitane had given this dragon Luxa Maxima. Using this, the dragon could turn its body to ash and purify itself. Gitane told it, use this when you're about to lose. Think you're betraying me by doing this? Don't worry, I'm pretty selfish myself. I'm just using you guys. And even consider you my companions. Remembering this, the dragon says I'm not sure about this. After meeting you, I was able to live and die like a dragon. And I won't use your spare and I won't purify myself. Meet you directly in hell. Saying this, the dragon dies. Grim absorbs all of the dragon's energy and becomes even more powerful. Grim thinks maybe now I can defeat a demon lord. And he says no. Still not powerful enough to defeat a demon lord. This means I'm still not quite equal to Lloyd. Then, Riel arrives and asks Grim, are you ready? Says yeah. Hey, how's Crow? Riel says don't worry. Crow's life has been saved. Saying this, Grim says, the people down there can take care of themselves. Go up and help Lloyd in this final battle. Shown the scene above the clouds again, where the fight between Gitane and Lloyd still hasn't really begun. But we saw Grim show up and defeat that huge dragon, saving everyone. Grim's attack was so powerful, it reached all the way up to the clouds, and both Gitane and Lloyd could see it from where they were. Lloyd immediately knew this attack came from Grim, and was pretty impressed. On the other side, Gitane realized that all his allies had been killed. That's when Lloyd asked him, do you want to know what's really happening down there? Gitane replied, yeah, it looks like all my companions are dead. After saying this, Gitane got really angry and pulled out a bunch of eggs from nowhere. He sent these eggs down to the ground, where everyone was standing. We watched as the eggs scattered in different places. Gitane then told Lloyd, "I've sent more of my chimeras down there, and every single one of them has S-rank strength." We saw all the eggs crack open, and chimeras started coming out of them. Everyone was terrified when they saw this. Gitane bragged to Lloyd, "I'm powerful enough to destroy this entire country, all by myself." This made Lloyd pretty mad, but then he said, "When Gitane sent those eggs down, I managed to track their movement." Lloyd was about to use his teleportation power to kill those chimeras, but Gitane attacked him and said, "I won't let you do that. I figured out that you need to focus a bit to use teleportation magic, but now I won't let you focus at all." We saw Gitane constantly attacking Lloyd, not giving him any chance to concentrate. Because of this, the chimera facing Galilea managed to defeat him. Gitane told Lloyd, "My creatures won't stop until this country is completely destroyed." Then the chimera removed Galilea's trap, freeing all the other chimeras that were supposed to come out of the ground. Seeing this, Galilea got scared and told Talia to run away, saying this chimera is different and way more powerful. Meanwhile, we saw the church scene where people started running when they saw the chimera there. But Katerina tried to stop them, saying, "There are chimeras outside. Don't go out there." The people replied, "There's a chimera here too. If we stay here, it'll kill us." That's exactly what happened. The chimera was about to attack and kill Katerina when her companions came and stopped the creature. They told Katerina, "We'll hold it off. You need to get out of here." Katerina said, "You guys are already exhausted. You can't stop this thing." The other people started panicking, asking, "Who's going to save us now? Where is God?" Gitane answered this question, saying, "If I'm being honest, I used to believe that God exists for a long time. So Lloyd, what do you think? Are you worthy of being called a god?" While saying this, he kept attacking Lloyd non-stop. This made Lloyd angry, and he said, "How many times do I have to tell you? I'm not God." Back in the city, Lloyd's companions saw the new chimeras and got worried, saying, "We already fought such a dangerous battle. Now we have to fight these too." Meanwhile, Jihiral and Grim, who were coming to save Lloyd, also had to stop when they saw the new chimeras arriving. We then saw Anastasia with a chimera approaching to attack her. She put her weapon to her throat and started crying, apologizing to Gitane, saying, "I'm sorry I was so useless." On the other side, Gitane told Lloyd, "If I'm being honest, I don't want to eliminate the world's people, I just want to destroy this country. By doing this, I want to change this country's religion, because this religion makes people believe in God, and God doesn't even exist. Sorry, but I have to cause this destruction." Suddenly we saw Saria start playing the piano. At the same time, Escher began singing, creating a really beautiful scene with their music. Everyone in the country could hear this song, and after listening to such a lovely melody, everyone just stood still where they were. We saw that because of Escher's song, even Crow got healed and flew away. Lloyd explained, Escher can use a divine magic called Boundless Innocence. Only she can do this. His magic doesn't cause any attack damage, but its effect is amplification. After people hear Escher's song, all their anxiety and fear disappears. Even the chimeras get shocked for a short time, even though they don't have brains. We saw that Gitane also stopped in one place because hearing Escher's song brought back memories from his past. Lloyd said Escher's song stops everyone in one place for a short time. Not me. After saying this, Lloyd used his teleportation magic and cut off all the chimeras' heads in one go. Lloyd then told Gitane, "I don't know why you think I'm a god or what happened to you in the past. But honestly, at this point, I'm not interested at all, and I don't care. Only interested in your magic. If I can capture you alive, I'll give you plenty of time." Lloyd brought all the chimeras' heads to that spot and told Gitane, "Come on, it's time for the final match between you and me." Meanwhile, we saw Bishop Dante telling Ren, "Sorry, the situation has changed, so I have to go somewhere. Gut feeling is telling me this song is trouble." The chimera's head also disappeared when the song started. Don't know who did this, but I've figured out who sent these chimeras. That's why I have to go. Suddenly, we saw that the chimera in front of him was still alive and attacked Dante. Ren got scared and was about to come save him, but Dante used his power without even moving, tore the chimera to pieces. Told Ren, "I'm going where Escher is singing. Stay here." During this, Ren started thinking, ever since Dante found out that the Pope is behind all this, he's been fighting in a dangerous way. Don't know what suddenly happened to him. Haven't been able to help at all since then. He became sad thinking this. Seeing her sadness, Dante said, "Don't worry. I've been taking care of the town's people all this time. You're very useful. Shouldn't be sad like this." After saying this, Dante started to leave. He was leaving. Dante remembered in his mind the day Gitane became Pope. He was there at that time too. He said to himself, "I wish I had noticed back then. Gitane, I will stop you." To Gitane, who started telling Lloyd about his past. Told Lloyd at that time I was pretty happy. Shown Gitane's past, where he had a young son and a wife. Gitan's son asked him to sing a song and Gitan sang for them. His voice wasn't that great. He was ready to do anything for his family. Son and wife still loved his singing, which made Gitan very happy. Saw that eventually other people started liking Gitan's singing too. Made Angel Jahiril very happy. In his joy, he gave Gitan permission to use the divine source. Gitan continued. After becoming a bishop, I was constantly tested over and over again. Saw that in the past, whenever bishops challenged Gitan, he easily defeated them. The person Gitan defeated might have been Dante himself. For that, Dante started calling Gitan boss. Gitan accepted this, saying Dante was my best friend and like a brother to me. After this, Gitan also fought with the king, where they both decided they would become the ruler and pope. Doing this, they would make the country even better. One day when Gitan returned home, a little girl sitting in front of his house who was very hungry. Seeing her, Gitan understood she was from the slums and was very poor. Gitan invited her into his house so he could feed her his wife's cooking. Gitan said this girl's name is Anastasia. Anastasia then told Gitan, "Dad told me to stand outside and keep watch." And when Gitan went inside, he saw that both his wife and son were dead. The one who killed them was Anastasia's father, who was very hungry and eating whatever food he could find. In this, Gitan got really angry at God. Started saying, "Who is this guy? Why didn't God save my family? I even serve God." To find answers to all these questions, Gitan fell into deep despair, into his own darkness. Was I serving God because I wanted a reward in return? How Gitan gathered his courage and went to try to purify that man. Gitan was shocked to see that nothing had happened to the man yet. He was still stuffing food into his mouth. Doing this, Gitan kept using purification on him, but still nothing was happening. Gitan's anger turned into fear. Finally, we saw that the man's hunger was never fully satisfied and he died right there from starvation. Gitan said this man couldn't be purified because he wanted to save his life, because he needed food, so he killed my family. It's a joke. Can't I purify someone for such reasons? Define such a bad person this way? It means that those with pure hearts are monsters. And continued. I remember my past. I recall that many people used to talk to me. The answers I gave them made me feel sick when I heard them myself. To tell people that I'm a bishop. Symbol of faith and believe in God. Why people started calling me a saint. My darkness became so deep that it couldn't be erased. I was made pope when I was tested. I realized that the darkness inside me isn't evil. This, Gitan told God, "If you don't mind, let me use my darkness without any obstacles." Gitan was continuing his story and Lloyd got really bored listening to all this. Shut up. Why are you telling me all this? Your story is pretty sad, but I'm a seventh prince. What am I supposed to do after hearing your story? Hearing this, Gitan said, "Yeah, I knew that a god like you wouldn't care about my story. That's why you need to hear this story. This story is the reason I've come this far." Lloyd said, "Okay, I've heard your story. Now let's fight." But Gitan started telling his old story again, which made Lloyd angry. He attacked his head and said, "That's enough, man. I don't want to hear your story." In another scene, we saw everyone else, who was happy listening to Escher's song and praising it. On the other side, we saw Babylon leaving from there. Looking at the rhythm of Escher's song, he understood that Escher was pushing herself way too hard, and if this song stopped, everyone would die. So we saw everyone going to protect the place where Escher was singing, because everyone believed that when this song stopped, this fight would also be over. Lloyd also told Gitan Escher's song is the best, right? My sister is also playing piano really well. By the way, Gitan, I want to show you something else. Hearing this, Gitan asked, "What are you talking about?" He was about to say something more, but suddenly, Lloyd cut off his hand. Lloyd told him, "I'm going to attack along with this song. So listen to this song closely." Gitan got ready to block the next attack, but he couldn't focus properly. Because of this, Lloyd's next attack hit him directly. We found out that this time, Lloyd had teleported his attack itself at super speed. Lloyd's next attack was with water, and the water's speed was so fast that the water itself froze. This put Gitan in trouble, so he used his spiral war power to create a shield. But Lloyd's attack still hit him, though not completely. He was trying to escape from there, but Lloyd made another dangerous attack on him. Lloyd got really excited seeing that Gitan could also use those spiral threads, so he told him, "I really want to capture you alive." Gitan got scared because Lloyd was attacking so fast and so much. He tried really hard to focus, but because of Escher's song, he couldn't concentrate and his attention got distracted again. Lloyd used an attack called Seven Gods on him, and Gitan got hit directly, even though he had those spiral threads. He asked, "How did you do this?" Lloyd replied, "A person like you will never understand how deep magic really is." Gitan got really scared seeing Lloyd's magic. Lloyd then said, "Oh yeah, I remember you told Babylon that attacking your heart wouldn't do anything, because there's nothing there. Let's try it and see if you were lying or telling the truth." After saying this, Lloyd made a very powerful attack on Gitane. He saw Escher and Saria team up to perform a recital, which stopped Chimeras attacks and gives Lloyd the perfect opportunity to take them all down. He wipes them out in one shot, leaving Gutane completely shocked. Then Lloyd closes in on him and hits him with an incredibly powerful divine magic attack. But to Lloyd's surprise, Gutane actually blocks it. Lloyd starts thinking that maybe he can use his divine sorcery to turn Gutane into a good person, but those anti-symbols are causing serious problems. This guy is using anti-divine sorcery symbols, and since divine sorcery is so unpredictable, Lloyd can't just attack him like he would with a regular enchantment. But from what Lloyd can tell, Gutane can only create 3 symbols at once. While Lloyd is figuring this out, Ziriel and Grim suddenly show up. Grim gets furious with Lloyd and snaps at him for not defeating Gutane yet. He knows Lloyd wants to capture him alive, but he warns him not to show any mercy. Lloyd completely ignores them and just holds them in his hand. That's when Gutane appears again and tells Lloyd he seems way too relaxed. He asks if Lloyd noticed the interruptions in Escher's song. That's because while Gutane was talking to him, he secretly sent his chimeras to track down the source of the singing. His chimeras are on their way to kill whoever's performing that song. Doesn't Lloyd care about them? Lloyd calmly replies that yeah, he knows Gutane sent the chimeras. Did Gutane really think he wouldn't notice? Gutane is shocked and wonders why. If Lloyd knew, he didn't go down there to save them. Then we cut to the scene below, where tons of chimeras are rushing in to stop Escher's song. But Shiro is down there fighting them off, taking down chimera after chimera to protect her. However, Shiro's condition is getting worse by the second. Seeing this, Saria tells him he doesn't have to hold back. If he wants to scream, he should scream. His cries won't interrupt their performance. His voice is beautiful, and they'll turn it into part of the song. So Shiro does exactly that and starts barking and howling. Because of this, the distortion that was messing up Escher's song completely disappears, and her song becomes even more powerful. Meanwhile, Shiro keeps holding off all the chimeras to protect Escher. Seeing all this, Lloyd is really happy that the song is back on track. Then he turns to Gutane and says he's thinking about using a new magic spell on him. Just as Lloyd is about to unleash this new magic, Gutane freaks out and says this kid is insane. He kept saying he was the 7th prince, but how am I supposed to believe that? And Lloyd tells him that to block the attack he's about to launch, Gutane will need to use earth, water, and wind elements all at the same time. Hearing this, Gutane panics and asks, if you're not a god, then what are you? Gutane is terrified because Lloyd is about to perform a triple incantation, meaning he's going to cast 3 different spells at once. Gutane realizes he can only create 3 symbols at a time, and just like Lloyd said, if he uses them all for earth, water, and wind, then Lloyd could sneak up from behind and purify him, and he wouldn't be able to defend himself. So he can't afford to use all his symbols, or he'll lose. He'd rather die than let that happen. He refuses to let Lloyd's purification magic turn him into a good person. While he's thinking all this through, Lloyd prepares that same terrifying magic again, and it looks absolutely deadly. Gutane is scared out of his mind and ends up using all 3 symbols at once. We see that Lloyd's attack is so powerful that even before it's fully released, the clouds in the sky start freezing solid. Then Lloyd launches his triple incantation, and this magic spell is seriously massive and insanely powerful. Gutane is struggling hard to block it, and even his hand starts freezing. The attack is so intense that even the people in the city can see this dangerous phenomenon in the sky. Grim and Zirial are both terrified by the sheer scale of the attack. They yell at Lloyd, telling him he's going way too far. Meanwhile, Gutane is still trying his best to hold off Lloyd's attack, and he shouts at him, asking if he's angry, because if Lloyd doesn't realize it, the spell he's using right now could destroy the entire world. It could wipe out everyone on the planet. All the people in the city see this attack and freak out, wondering what on earth is happening. After hearing Gutane's words, Lloyd says, "So now you're calling me prince? Thought you said I was a god." Gutane replies, "No. No one like you could ever be a god. A god is someone who..." But then he stops himself mid-sentence and thinks, wait, do I still have expectations of God? We cut back down below, where the chimeras are closing in on Escher, about to kill her. Shiro can't get there in time, but suddenly Anastasia and Dante show up, take down the chimeras, and save Escher. Right after that, Ren and that pervy bishop arrive. The bishop starts healing Shiro. Meanwhile, Dante looks at Anastasia, confused, and asks what she's doing. He's saving the enemy. He thought she was on Gutane's side. Anastasia says she has no idea what he's doing there either. Who exactly is Gutane even fighting? Dante says of course he's fighting a god. God himself had to show up to stop my friend's rampage. Hearing all this, and seeing that everyone is safe, Escher gets super emotional and changes the lyrics of her song. She starts singing about how happy she is that everyone's okay, and how they should all eat pancakes together. Hearing these new lyrics, everyone feels even more empowered. Back on the battlefield, Gutani gets upset again and says, "So is it true that people with pure hearts can do anything? Just like Loyed is doing right now. That's exactly why I deliberately did terrible things. Became a beast so that God, you would come to me. Did awful things. Used people. Even betrayed my own friend. Become so evil. So why won't you come, God? Won't you judge me? Enough is enough. How long are you going to let me keep doing this? You really going to let Loyed do this? You going to let him bring destruction to this world? This world is about to be destroyed by someone with a pure heart. Are you not going to do anything? It's not right. Even people with pure intentions should suffer consequences. Why do you always protect people like that?" Gutani is thinking all this. Escher's song reaches him. Suddenly, he remembers his little boy. Sees his wife too. Both of them are now asking Gutani to sing along with them. Seeing this, Gutani gets extremely emotional and starts crying, saying, "God, this isn't fair at all." Gutani tells his family, "No, I don't want to sing, because my voice is terrible." "Are you in pain? Are you? You alone?" Son tells him, "Don't worry. And if you're bad, it's okay." Saying this, his son starts walking toward him to hug him. Then Gutani realizes that's not his son at all. Loyed, who's gotten close to him. Seeing this, Gutani starts smiling and says, "So willing that you actually came to me. Means you really are just experimenting on me, aren't you, Seventh Prince?" After saying that, he attacks Loyed with his Luma Maxima. Gutani is stunned to see that the attack did absolutely nothing to Loyed. In fact, Loyed is just smiling because he's already pure. Loyed shows him his own Luma Maxima, and you can see just how massive this attack is. Attack spreads across the entire city. Divine sorcery washes over all the people. Everyone's injuries start healing instantly. Dante is completely shocked, wondering who could possibly perform such a massive purification spell. Seeing all this, Anastasia starts remembering her past. She and Gutane were heading somewhere. Watching the rain, Anastasia says the rain started again. Tyne replies that wherever he goes, rain follows him. Thinks heaven will only be happy the day he dies. Remembering all this, Anastasia starts crying and says, "Gutani, please forgive me. All this time I've been blaming God. I took advantage of your kindness. If I had stopped my father that day, none of this would have happened. Maybe this rain is falling because of me." Seeing her cry, Dante smacks her on the head, which makes her stop. Then Dante walks away. Meanwhile, Ren is relieved and thinks, "It's finally all over, right, Lloyd?" But because of this purification spell, just like Anastasia spoke from her heart, all the people in the city start confessing their true feelings to each other. Everyone in the city has become a better person. Then we see Loyed and Gutane. Gutane is lying there on the ground. Loyed tells him he's not sure if the purification is affecting him or not, or maybe he was always like this. If he wanted to, Gutane could have asked the other archbishops for help with his plan, but he didn't involve them at all. Gutane explains that for the Great Advent Festival, he wanted it so that if God didn't appear, his bishops would kill him. He personally selected them. Either they would kill him, or he would kill them. But in the end, the one who stopped him wasn't God or the bishops. It was the Seventh Prince and a simple nun. He's completely convinced that God gave Escher her voice as a blessing. Then Loyed asks him, "Do you want to know why Escher became a nun?" We're shown a flashback where everyone asked her why she became a nun. She says it's because she loves to sing. She clarifies that it's not like she's disrespecting God by saying that. The truth is, singing is the one thing she's really good at, and the church seemed like a great place to sing in front of everyone. But the Great Advent Festival is different from other days, because they need to get revenge on that guy Gutane. If he shows up, she can't run away. Hearing all this, even Gutan can't help but laugh. Loyed tells him, "See, Escher didn't become a nun because she's religious. Sometimes you shouldn't worry about whether you're doing something right or wrong. Sometimes you should just do what makes you happy. That's how I've spent my entire life." After that, Loyed pulls that Civil War sword out of Grimm's mouth, throws it next to Gutani, and says as he's leaving, "I found this somewhere." Hearing this, Gutane asks Loyed what he said at the end. Loyed replies, "I don't remember." Then Loyed says he'll be waiting for him on Lodest Island. With that, Loyed leaves. Meanwhile, Gutane starts crying. In the next scene, we're told that the kingdom's people were informed that the Pope, meaning Gutane, was killed by a terrorist group, and his body was found in some lab. Someone else had become Pope and was planning to cause destruction during the Great Advent Festival. Nobody knows who the real culprit is. Reading all this news, one bishop gets angry and says, "How do people not know?" The enemy was Pope Gutan himself. His companion says, "Yeah, but we can't tell anyone, because there are many bishops who don't know the truth." Dante agrees, saying, "Yeah, whatever happened shouldn't be revealed to anyone, or the church's reputation will be ruined. People will start questioning divine teachings, and it'll destroy the nation's peace. So that bishop says, yeah, but we need a new leader to guide this church. If that's the case, I'd be happy to become pope. Dante says no, he wants to make someone else pope. Someone who has the full support of the public. In the next scene, we see Father approaching Escher, telling her she has to become pope. He says everyone wants her to be pope. Hearing this, Escher is completely shocked. Then we see Saria playing the piano. After finishing, she notices Lloyd is sitting right there. She just stares at him. Lloyd says, sorry, I did knock on your door, but you were busy, so I just came in. Hearing this, Saria says, Lloyd, you told me in the church that there would be an attack during the Great Advent Festival. You told us that, when it happens, Escher and I have to sing together. You said the result would decide everyone's fate. You wanted me to go to the highest point in town and sing. You said you'd prepare the stage for me. Saria asks why he's telling her all this. Lloyd says it's because this task is really dangerous. If he told someone else, they wouldn't do it. Hearing this, Saria says, yeah, you're right. The scene shifts back to the present, where Saria asks Lloyd if he thought her performance was good. Was it what he wanted? In her mind, Saria thinks, we both know what we are. Both obsessed with something. Meanwhile, Lloyd tells her that her performance was the best. Hearing this, Saria goes back to the piano and tells Lloyd he did great too. And Lloyd notices that Saria is playing his incantation in rhythm on the piano. It means Saria knows that Lloyd was fighting up in the sky. He asks him if he heard her above the clouds. Lloyd accidentally blurts this out and quickly says, no, I was just hiding the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. Saria says, that festival was amazing, wasn't it? In her mind, she thinks, I won't ask Lloyd any questions. He won't get in my way, and I won't get in his. No one can stop us. Seeing this, Lloyd gets happy too and goes back to reading his book. We're shown a hot spring scene where all the girls are bathing. Escher is super nervous about being made pope. He says she doesn't know if she can handle being people's spiritual leader. The others tell her it's a huge responsibility, but becoming pope is also an amazing thing. Talia asks Escher what Babylon said. He says not much, and gets embarrassed and asks why she's bringing him up. Seeing all this, Lloyd is there too and gets bored, asking Silpha if he can leave. She refuses, while Tao and Ren see him and get all shy, wondering what Lloyd is doing there. Then they realize they've bathed together before, so it's not really a big deal. Escher tells Lloyd, worried, if this keeps up, going to make her pope. Should she do? Lloyd doesn't seem to care at all and says, what am I supposed to do about it? Hearing this, Escher says if he says that, he'll nominate him to become pope. Lloyd asks how she even came up with that idea. Escher explains that Albert, his brother, was telling Dante how Lloyd used his detective skills to resolve the incident. Hearing that, Dante decided he'd nominate Lloyd to become pope. In this, both Lloyd and Silpha get mad at Albert. Escher starts pulling on Lloyd while Silpha pulls him from the other side. Silpha says no, Lloyd will stay peacefully with her in the castle and be displayed to the world. In this, Escher realizes that if she becomes pope, a lot of people will see her, and that's exactly what she wanted. Saria also tells her, yeah, that's what you wanted. But since Saria wasn't wearing her glasses, she was saying this to a rock, which makes everyone say, we're right here. Saria gets embarrassed. She asks Escher if she remembers when she first played the recital in the church. She refused Saria so many times, but Escher kept insisting she wanted to sing with her. Escher says, yeah, she remembers. Just wanted to sing along with Saria's music. Shown another flashback where Escher tells Saria that there are so many guests for her recital. She can make them happy with her singing. That would be so much fun. Saria says, oh, you want to use me and the church like a concert hall? Escher quickly says, no, that's not it. Scene returns to the present, where Saria tells Escher that if she becomes pope, it won't just be a few people. The whole world will hear her singing. In this, Escher gets happy. Then she tells Saria, you're not talking to me, talking to a duck over there. In this, Saria gets embarrassed again, while Escher thinks to herself that yeah, what Saria said is right. If she becomes pope, everyone will hear her songs. Next scene, we see that yes, Escher does become pope. Everyone is listening to her sing. While we see that Gutane was also listening to this song, and Mia was with him. Then Lloyd notices that there are a lot of new, different people standing in the church, and we will see them in the next season. Also shown a girl standing on a pillar who looks a bit like Lloyd, but she's wearing a mask. Lloyd sees her too and smiles, and that's where this episode ends.